It's time for Rounding the Bases with Dino and Barks on 1460 CJLY.
Well, we're doing this live outside the park, and I don't want to say someone's Mr. Perfect, but who's 2-0 so far?
Yeah, you are definitely undefeated and as perfect as they can come. So we're so glad to have you, and you're bringing so much energy to the ballpark. It's fun to have you here.
And of course, now good 15-5 romp over Kitchener. You're back with Toronto again tomorrow, and they played you tough last time.
Oh, Toronto plays tough. I mean, they're a good baseball team. They got a former big leaguer starting against us, and then their ace on Sunday. So home and home against them, and a good rivalry that we've got going with them. So we got to be at the top of our game, but at least we're playing really good baseball right now.
Now in Terrasano, what happened? Like my thigh felt that.
Yeah, he felt the pop in his quadricep, and he hit the bag wrong, and it's unfortunate, but he's going to be out a little bit. Get him healthy and for the stretch drive, because the worst part about it, other than the fact that he's hurt, is that he was just seeing the ball so well, and every at bat was good. So you like having guys like that are rolling a little bit, but we'll get him ready before the playoffs, and hopefully he can start rolling again.
And I have to give props to Lisa from Magic 106, because I gave her some scouting tips on how to throw at that ceremonial first pitch.
That was right down the middle. She threw a strike. I mean, I was ready to sign her, except we're at our limit on our roster. If I had an extra spot, I definitely would have contemplated getting her on our roster, because that was money right there.
Now tomorrow night, or Saturday night, we should say, as this is going to run on Saturday, Dalton and the team doing a food drive for the Guelph Food Bank, and no one should go hungry in the Royal City. So if you're coming out, either bring a non-perishable food or at least a donation for the Guelph Food Bank.
And this is great for Dalton to give back to the community. We're going out this morning to a couple of Little League games and handing out some tickets, and Dalton's going to talk about following your dreams. A Canadian kid that makes it to the big leagues. Why can't anybody else? And he's just such a great individual on and off the field. And this food drive, I know in talking to people from the Guelph Food Bank, they're really struggling for food here in the summertime. So we're so excited, and I'm so proud of Dalton and the rest of our team for rallying around this and trying to get things to a point where we're helping people in Guelph from the standpoint of eating.
Now, of course, I used to umpire way back when in my Barrie days, and even had a home run.
Well,
it drifted very foul, and I know Sean Riley would have wanted it, but I couldn't believe he called it a homer.
Yeah, well, I wasn't going to argue.
No, of course not.
I'm in my happy place right now. We've won 6 in a row, so I'm not going to argue.
No.
But they got it right. Ultimately, they got it right, and the umpire thought that it hit the top of the foul pole. He heard a bang, but it was actually the hand of the outfielder, and when they conferred, they got it right. And I'm going to obviously question it to find out what he saw, but they made the right call. They did a great job today, and I thought the umpiring for the most part this year has been really good.
And of course, today with 15 runs, almost all the way down the lineup got a hit or a run.
Well, that's been the case for the last 6 games, and that's what we're so proud of. That room is so tight right now. And again, we're missing 3 starters again for the 19th consecutive time. So when we get everybody in the lineup, it's scary because everybody's contributing top to bottom, and that's what we want. That's why we picked the guys we did, and everybody's going to contribute. And now, come Monday, we just added another arm that we're so excited about, and Andrew Case, who's a closer with AAA Buffalo for the Toronto Blue Jays, a Canadian guy who's driving here with his family, can't wait to get to Royal City. We're only going to get stronger, and we're very, very excited.
And of course, this is my first couple of times in the arena, the ballpark, and look at the fans. The fans are into it here.
Well, we've got the best city in the league, and it was only a matter of time. And what I wanted to see happen is starting to happen here in this city, rallying around this team, because we're a fun team to watch, top to bottom. And now you're starting to see 5-6 lawn chairs deep, and it's such a great community. It's such a great community event, and it's just making us really happy.
And not just the lawn chairs. 200 kids running the bases after the 5th inning.
Well, and that's the thing. It's a different dynamic than it's been for the last few years, and that's why we're going as a thank you tomorrow, or today actually, to thank a lot of the little leaguers and get them out here to take part and watch these guys play and give them a reason to stick it out with baseball, and it's something to achieve. If they keep working at it, and we've the whole group of people here. We have a good Guelph group. But there are a lot of guys from around here that love the community and giving back to the community.
Well, keep it going, and thanks for having me do this.
Oh, my gosh. Are you kidding me? You're welcome anytime. You do such a great job. And
evening and welcome back to Hastings Stadium for just the third time this week. Scott Fraser joined by Neil Sriwasa as the Guelph Royals welcome the Toronto Maple Leafs back to town for the second time in about 5 days, Neil, and the second 3 meetings this week. Guelph winning back on Tuesday right here at Hastings Stadium, and winners of 6 straight now, and the hottest team in the IBL finding themselves in third spot in the standings just behind Welland and London.
You know, it should be another great night of baseball. 2 great teams on the cusp of, breaking out in the Intercounty here as far as this goes. Royals and Maple Leafs fighting for 3rd and 4th respectively right now. Barry's playing in London and Welland are playing this evening, and Barry's playing Brantford tonight, so we'll have some stuff going here as well as the Royals are getting ready to take the field momentarily here.
Yeah, and Barry with Brantford is a pesky matchup because those Red Sox have all of a sudden just kind of made life a little bit harder for every opponent they've been facing who seems to be looking past them. So the Red Sox can do some favors moving forward by taking some wins away. They are still winless, are the Brantford Red Sox at 0-16 in the basement of the IBL. And as mentioned, the Royals winners of 6 straight, coming back in here after a huge Canada Day win 15-5 yesterday afternoon against the Kitchener Panthers. And it was really death by 1,000 paper cuts from the order that just continued to get hit after hit after hit. Justin Terracino was injured in that game. He will be out for the foreseeable future. Darius Barlos, who took over for him in that game at first base, gets the nod again at the 1 bag for Dino Ramel's team. And Barlos was beyond impressive, both at the plate and defensively, coming in on short notice yesterday afternoon, and obviously earned the respect from his manager and his teammates to get another go at it here tonight as Guelph looks to make it 7 in a row.
And no question, Barlis and the rest of the role players doing their jobs out there so far this year for the Royals. Doing what's asked of them, and, sometimes even going above and beyond it.
And that infield's taking a bit of a beating of late. Again, Brandon LaRue still out of the lineup. No real update on when he can return or will return. So a different look in the infield. Kyle Cush is at shortstop in lieu of LaRue. Say that 5 times fast. But leading off for the Maple Leafs once again here tonight, pretty similar to what we saw back on Tuesday. It will be Jose Venancio, followed by Justin Mara and Jordan Castaldo.
Castaldo, a multiple-time MVP in this league. The lineup's always that much better and that much more dangerous when Castaldo is in the lineup. He loves hitting at this park, loves hitting at Christie Pitts as well, so pitchers beware.
For the first here at Hastings, leading off for the Toronto Maple Leafs, the shortstop, number 1, Jose Venancio.
And as you mentioned, Castaldo and the top of this order really, really like to hit baseballs, but Nelson Mercado coming off what I would say his best start this season, looking to build off that and get some confidence going as we head into the dog days of summer, the dog days of the season, as we are underway. Benicio shows bunt, pulls off. That is a ball, so 1-0 to start the ball game. Well over 1,500 fans here at Hastings Stadium this evening, and always more continuing to pour in. That parking lot has been full for over 45 minutes, so good luck finding a spot to leave your car. And the golf game's still going on, just a stone's throw away at Exhibition Park that you can see in our background. It's a busy time of year here down in downtown Guelph, as Nelson having a hard time locating the zone. 3-0 to start this ball game. Noah Roberts back behind home plate after Brandon Keys had a heck of a game yesterday.
Could be some nerves. Could be a little too long of a layoff for Mercado as well. He hasn't pitched since that Barry game last Tuesday night.
And Benicio tried to sell that as a 4-pitch walk, but was almost automatically called back, and that is a strike, so the count 3-1. And we will do it one more time or more. That one lined straight to the shortstop, Kyle Cush, who makes the catch easily for out number 1. And if you're Benicio, you think you're aboard, and all of a sudden you line one right out, and you're taking a long walk back to the dugout as Justin Mara makes his way to the plate. on his way greets Noah Roberts and digs in and will try to find a way to make some contact here against Mercado. That one in there for strike number 1. The Royals had a very, very busy week. Tuesday against the Maple Leafs at home. Yesterday afternoon right here again against Kitchener Panthers. Back at it tonight, and then on the road in Toronto tomorrow. So 4 games in 7 days for the Royals, and the Maple Leafs on the other side of it haven't played since Tuesday. So it's going to be a rest versus rust kind of matchup here as Mercado is ahead in the count, 0-2 with 1 gone. That Sun not playing any favors for Ethan Hammond out in left field. That one high, 1-2 the count now. Dalton Pompey back in the lineup tonight after missing yesterday's game. He is at center, so many fans happy to see him back. And that one chopped to Darius Barless, who is again at first base for out number 2. Two gone here real quick as we are quickly underway. And the third man in the lineup, a name that everyone is familiar with here at this ballpark and well across the league, Jordan Castaldo, who is playing first
Castaldo
base
batting
tonight.
.350 so far this season. Swinging the hot stick as always.
A modest .350 for Castaldo, so
4 home runs, 10 RBIs so far. He's missed a few games. He's 20 for 57 so far.
we'll look to improve on that as that is in there for strike number 1. Connor Morrow of note back at second base this evening after playing shortstop yesterday. That one couldn't catch the outside part of the plate. Count now even at 1-1. Collymore at third for the Royals. And rounding out the defense is J.D. Williams in right field. Sean Riley, the designated hitter tonight. That one bounces inside and misses the strike zone. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 gone. Waits, sets, and delivers. And gets Castaldo to wave at one that he would like back. And a beautiful blue sky on a Saturday evening here doesn't give any kind of relief for either Pompey or Hammond out there in left and center field. And Castaldo down on strikes. Wilson Mercado a 1-2-3, top of the first. We are halfway through 1. Pompey, Morrow, and Riley due up in the bottom half of the inning.
Hastings.
Welcome back into Hastings Stadium, a packed night here in the heart of downtown Guelph. Dalton Pompey to lead it off in the bottom half of the first inning. Angel Castro on the mound for the Toronto Maple Leafs, who made his debut earlier in this week, and it was an abbreviated debut after arriving in Canada back on Saturday, and will be looking to impress here in his second go at it. His first pitch this evening misses low and outside for ball number 1. Castro gets the call on that one. Dalton doesn't like it and just maybe trying to figure out where the strike zone is located this evening. So count even.
Like you mentioned, Castro starts with an 11.25 ERA tonight, 4 innings pitched, just 2 strikeouts. He gave up 10 singles and 10 runs. Sunday afternoon against the Welland Jackfish. Of course, the Jackfish had to snap their 3-game losing streak at Christie Pitts.
Pompey pokes one to left field, and that could be trouble with that sun. That ball is, however, caught by the left fielder, Grant Timoni, for out number 1. And never a bad idea to poke one out there before the sun sets, because it's like an extra man for the team that's batting, and a nightmare for the left fielder. But Timoni able to keep his eye on the ball and make the catch, and Connor Morrow to the plate and has just all of a sudden caught fire with the bat in his hands of late. Morrow takes the first pitch of his at-bat for strike number 1. Paul Ante, the first base coach, opposite of the manager and third base coach, Dino Ramel, this evening for Guelph. The 0-1 from Castro, low and maybe just a bit outside. Either way, a ball, counting out even. Morrow, looks like the bottom of that pitch fell out on Morrow, as that was maybe some tomfoolery from Castro, and now 1-2 the count as Morrow resets, and we will do it one more time.
Morrow's got the average up to 325 on the year. A breakout night for him last night. That one bounces just to our right.
Counting out even at deuce. And yeah, Connor Morrow, he was hitting the ball well in the early going of the season, but wasn't getting any sort of luck. Usually lining the ball directly into an outfielder or even an infielder's glove. Now all of a sudden the law of averages has kind of repaid him, and well above 300 on the year now. The 2-2. And Morrow down on strikes looking, and that one borderline at its very best. And Connor Morrow, not one to pick fights with home plate umpires, but clearly a display of his displeasure on that call. So Guelph down to their final out of this bottom of the first inning, and the silver lining to that, Neil, is number 33, the designated hitter, Sean Riley, will bat next.
Riley went hitless yesterday in a rare feat, even though it's a little more information on that call down the left field in the first inning.
The home run that was not.
Exactly. A third base umpire heard the outfielder's glove clank against the pole. That's why he signaled a home run.
And that at least begins to explain that, because it seemed very, very, very foul.
Yeah.
And it was originally called a home run and, of course, overturned. Riley, the next pitch he faced, which was moments and moments and moments later, hit him. He was then aboard, and Morrow scored after that.
Yeah, Riley had actually retreated back to the dressing room. He had to go to use the little boys' room.
So, yeah, there was a slight delay in the bottom of the first inning yesterday, and some chuckles after the game based on that, and came all the way back out here just to take one off his body and walk 90 feet down to first base as that pitch misses, and it's 3-0, and Sean Riley's eyes must be bulging right about now against Angel Castro.
You'd hope they would tell Castro, yeah, you don't pitch to this guy, so, it's okay if you walk him. Or, pitch around him very selectively. Don't throw him a fastball 3-0, whatever you do.
And however, Castro, a former Oakland Athletic, probably not willing to just let Riley walk. So confidence is key in this sport. And He does find the zone with the fourth pitch of the at-bat for a 3-1 count now, and Riley squares up, swings real hard, and misses. So we are at 3-2, count full with 2 gone, and that might have been Sean's chance in this at-bat.
They're probably going to go back outside here and hope the plate umpire gives them another gift over there.
And Riley, again, who has been so aggressive at the plate this season, so not a bad call, and didn't even wait.
Castro's walking off the mound like he thought it was automatic. So was Mara.
Yeah,
Number 35, Malik Collymore.
I think the only one that knew that wasn't a ball was Riley. The umpire was like,
I
oh.
have no words. Malik Collymore due up next, batting cleanup yet again. The third baseman has been steady Eddie here in the batter's box for the Royals so far this season. Slices one well foul down the first base line, and first pitch swinging, never a bad idea, especially as you mentioned, Neil. Castro getting up 10 singles in his debut, so you know that he has definitely been hittable so far in his career. The 0-1, that is a strike, much to the dismay of the Hastings Stadium crowd. Guelph down to their final strike in this first inning. 0-2, one man on, Sean Riley at first, 2 gone. And Castro rigs him up and sits him down for out number 3. We are scoreless through 1 inning here at Hastings Stadium.
Aiden McCaskey.
No score through 1 inning at Hastings Stadium, the second of 3 matchups between these two teams this week. Guelph taking the first one back on Tuesday night at Hastings Stadium right here at home for 1. No score here, and Aiden McCaskey to lead it off for the Maple Leafs. Scott Fraser joined by Neil Sriwasa and about 1,800 other Royals fans in the seats so far this evening. And on a long weekend, nothing to bat an eyelash about.
It's great to see so many people here at the ballpark in the first weekend of July, and I hope it continues all the way through the summer.
And attendance has been very, very, very encouraging so far this season. And with Guelph stringing some wins together now, it will only get contagious. And we're hoping that the fandom just continues to grow. And maybe we can make it a thing here, as it's a 2-1 count on McCaskey. That one misses to make it 3-1 for Mercado.
McCaskey batting .305, 4 home runs, 16 RBIs so far, so he's definitely been an offensive force to be reckoned with so far for these Maple Leafs. He fouls that one away.
Slices right behind home plate. And batting cleanup for a pretty well-rounded Maple Leaf squad. McCaskey has done his job thus far and continues to impress. Count full now. Kasky leading it off in the top of the second inning, and that one misses low.
You got to think if Roberts catches that one, he might have got that call.
Yeah, it is. It's very, very blatantly obvious that it depends on what the borderline pitch from a ball to a strike, if they are able to frame it just right. And Lewis, the center fielder, now up. Kasky with a healthy lead at first, might be looking to take off on Mercado, who didn't even peek over at him before that pitch. So keep one eye on McCaskey at first, who might be thinking about 90 feet in a stolen bag real soon. That lead extended from first by McCaskey. Mercado does peek over and now deals. Lewis swings and misses. Count now 1-1. Lewis was not in the lineup on Tuesday, and obviously Nelson Mercado did not pitch in that game, so some fresh faces facing off for the first time in this stadium, at least for this week, as that ball misses low and in the dirt. 2-1. And as mentioned a little bit earlier, Brendan Keys was starting behind home plate for the Royals yesterday afternoon and was just nothing short of fantastic. But Noah Roberts, who has been a pleasant surprise for this team, gets the nod once again. As that one is hit over the head of Malik Collymore for a base hit. Runners now at first and second with no one gone here in the top of the second inning. And Grant Timoni,
The left fielder, number 10.
now due up.
Grant Tamani.
Tamani batting .264 so far for the Maple Leafs this season. Playing left field tonight. A little surprising, but I guess, you got to go where the manager puts you out there. He's usually a second baseman.
And not for nothing, in this league, guys do have other commitments. And on a long weekend, sometimes it's next man up. And no matter what your normal position is, sometimes that's not the same old story, as that one is popped right up and caught by Mercado for out number 1. So Timoni down on the first pitch he sees of the evening, and that brings up Dan Mara.
Dan Mara.
Daniel Mara, the oldest of the 3 Mara brothers. Of course, there's Justin behind the plate. And his brother Adam is the pitcher who usually comes in later 8 stages of the ball game.
A family affair for the Maple Leafs. McCaskey definitely thinking about taking a bag here. And I think Nelson is cleared into that one. And McCaskey was on his toes, but Mercado looked him off and threw a strike to Mara to get ahead 0-1 with 1 gone here. And a double play ball would be fantastic for the Royals right about now. Popped up and into the parking lot, and like a good neighbor, State Farm is there if your windshield is in the wrong spot this evening. 0-2. Sun thinking about finally starting to set, as it is another gorgeous night for baseball. We have been just treated to night after night of perfect weather, as Mercado wants to see McCaskey do what he's thinking, and McCaskey rightfully retreated back to second base, and no throw. The 0-2, 1 gone here. Mercado still peeking back at McCaskey as Mara chops that one. Roberts on it, over to Barless for out number 2. McCaskey to third, Lewis to second, but 2 gone now here in the top of the second inning. As Luca Boscarino
Number 2, Luca Boscarino.
comes back to the plate.
Boscarino with the clutch hit a few weekends ago at Christie Pitts as the Maple Leafs defeated the Royals in extra innings.
And Boscarino with 2 outs will need a base hit here to drive in a run. Mercado, first pitch strike.
And if you're Nelson Mercado, you just got to take a breath out there and focus on this batter. get the outs any way you can.
That one misses somewhere and evens the count at 1-1. That looked pretty good from where I stand, but maybe just a bit off of the plate and a ball and just a bit low on that one. It's 2-1, 2 gone again, and Mercado ready to deal one more time inside. Clearly misses the zone, so first base is open, so Nelson doesn't need to be too aggressive here, but would like to get Boscarino to swing at something and miss, or swing at something into the ground, or pop one up. One of those three options would be ideal. And that one misses low and outside, and that will put Boscarino aboard and jam the bases up. As we are on to Greg Carrington, who had a pretty good night here on Tuesday for the Maple Leafs, who couldn't manufacture more than one run, but Carrington did his job, and batting ninth tonight is a real maybe secret weapon down at the bottom of the lineup, and with nowhere to put him, could be a real difference maker in the early going of this evening's matchup.
Carrington batting .294, a home run and 5 RBI so far. It's a ground ball. So Connor Morrow at second base, and on to Barless in time, and the Royals get out of it.
Morrow over to Barless for the 4-3 putout, and we are halfway through 2 innings. No score as we are off to the bottom of the second. No score as we are about to get into the bottom half of the second inning here at Hastings Stadium. And Ethan Hammond batting fifth this evening will lead it off for Guelph. And again, just being plucked in and out of any part of the lineup, but still just continuing to produce, is the left fielder who will face Castro for the first time this evening. That one well below the strike zone for ball number 1. Bounces to the backstop, and Jordan Embro on his toes to pick that one up, and we will continue with play with a 1-0 count. Castro dealing. Finds the strike zone somewhere, apparently, to even the count at 1-1. Not quite sure where, but that is the first strike of this plate appearance for Hammond. That one low. Count now at 2-1. Castro now ready once again. Murrah and Castro on the same page, and that one finds the zone to even the count at 2-2. A few frustrated Royals throughout the first few batters in the early going of this ball game with where the strike zone seems to be. And Castro now looking to sit down Hammond, who lays off, and that one misses, and the count is full. J.D. Williams and Noah Roberts will follow in this inning, and maybe then some if someone can get aboard. The payoff from Castro. In there for strike number 3, and Ethan Hammond is on his way back to the dugout. And is 0 for 1. J.D. Williams batting 6th. We'll look to get aboard here.
Number 9, J.D. Williams.
With no Interessano and no LaRue in the lineup, it will be Barless and Cush that round out the lineup for Guelph. Barless hitting 8th and Cush hitting 9th. Castro, another first pitch strike, and Williams didn't think much of it, but now looking to choke up and find a way to get aboard. That one well outside, and Castro doesn't get the call on that one, so the count even, 1-1, 1 gone. Bounces in the dirt for ball number 2, 2-1 the count.
Williams got 2 home runs so far in the season, 16 RBIs, a 281 average, and he's just been lights out so far this year.
And plays just about anywhere in the outfield and is willing to bat in anywhere in the lineup. So the kind of teammate and player you want if you're a Guelph Royal, and lays off that one. The count now 3-1, and as Neil just mentioned, Williams no slouch at the plate, so with this count, probably green lights all the way. That one misses for ball number 4, and J.D. Williams is aboard. And Noah Roberts, who has a couple of noon shots so far this season, the catcher, makes his way to the plate for the first time this evening. Both Keys and Roberts have just been so good every time they get a chance to get into a ball game, and really have almost an internal competition behind home plate for the Royals, and nothing but a healthy competition for this team. Roberts infield in quite the shift, and oddly enough, with Roberts as a lefty, they are well into left field, the infield and the right field, all kind of not playing the pull. That one outside, 1-1.
Roberts 9 for 48, 3 home runs, 9 RBIs so far this season. He's definitely making an impact back there and making the most of the opportunities when he's given the chance by manager Dino Romel, that's for sure, like you mentioned.
A huge part of that big win against the Barrie Baycats a week and a half ago, 2 home runs in that game, and that is a strike him out, but Williams takes off. Mara can't throw him out. JD safe at second.
With the stolen base.
Stolen base, excuse me, that was strike number 2. 1 gone. Roberts had no intention of swinging on that one, as Williams was off with first movement. Williams in scoring position, and Noah knows how to hit the ball.
The infield playing on the edge of the grass, pretty much up the middle here, just trying to keep this ball in front of them and keep Williams from scoring from second base.
Roberts swings and misses at strike number 3, and Darius Barless, who was called upon without really any forewarning yesterday afternoon and did a fantastic job at the plate.
Darius Barless
Comes into this game with his batting average now inflated compared to yesterday afternoon, and a smile on his face, and why not, as he has another chance to impress here in front of the now what would be 2,000 strong Royals fans.
It's so great to see the line so full down there. Like manager Dino Romel alluded to this afternoon on the Bargs and Dino show, we're going 5 deep here in lawn chairs. It's great to see here, and it's a great Saturday night to be at the ballpark.
Winning streaks will do that, and Guelph has done exactly that, so they're being rewarded with some attention here. Williams at second, no one covering the bag. Barless fights that one off and slices it foul. Yeah, a very impressive number of fans here, actually, Neil, as I do a full swivel of the baselines, and quite shocking considering it's a long weekend and so much other things happening in the Royal City this weekend that very encouraging to see people are picking to come to this game here on a Saturday night.
Might be the gas prices too, and it's just the fact that Canada Day's on a Friday. And the kids just finish school usually Thursday too, so maybe not making those cottage plans that first weekend out here anyways.
Or we just have some real diehard Royals fans, one or the other, as Barless fights that one off for strike number 2, fouls it behind home plate.
Or it could be the fact that the Jays games are kind of a little pricey for anybody to go down, and we paid $35 this afternoon for parking, let alone I think it was like $200 for the tickets. So we were like $300 by the time we sat down.
There is no such thing as a free Jays game, even if the tickets are comped, and I can attest to that. And I did mean to mention this, and I'm glad you reminded me. Neil Sriwasa, a proud new owner of the Vlad and Dad bobblehead today.
Yes, it's going to go nicely with the collection, right beside Bo Bichette and George Springer. Plus the old Josh Donaldson MVP one.
So, yeah, quite the collection as that one runs inside on Barless, and J.D. Williams kind of stumbled his way back to second base.
Not sure what J.D. was thinking there, but that's okay.
For being such an athlete, that looked very not athletic. But
you forgot where his feet were.
No worse for wear here. The count full, 2 gone. Barless swings and slices that one foul, just a half second late on it.
And Darius Barless goes in here and he never gets ripped off at the plate. He goes up there, he's going to make this pitcher work. Castro's going up there on the mound going, what do I got to get this guy to swing at here? Am I going to be able to finally fool him with an outside pitcher?
And the Royals crowd getting into it here. The payoff pitch from Castro. Williams takes off. Barless, that'll be a base hit. Williams on his way to home. Darius Barless, a 2-out RBI single to open the scoring, and the Royals are on the board.
What can you say about Darius Barless? I don't know. He was captain clutch again.
Kyle Kush.
Kyle Kush, the number 9 hitter now, and Darius Barless might be coming for Sean Riley's spot in the lineup after his performance yesterday afternoon, and so far this evening has been the hottest hitter in the last 36 hours for Guelph. Castro, a first pitch strike on Kush now. And Kyle Kush doing a fantastic job filling in for the injured infield and has been all over that infield since being called upon and all over the lineup as well. That one misses to even the count at 1 apiece. This Guelph-Toronto rivalry seems to be growing more and more with each game and every pitch and every out. And with 3 games in less than 1 week against each other, that only comes naturally. That one misses on the outside, and count now 2-1.
Kush with a pair of doubles yesterday. 3 RBIs. Not bad for the 9-hitter.
Not bad for some role players. Barless and Kush really chiming in a 15-5 win. And Angel Castro now 2-1. Misses low, 3-1. Castro hasn't shown many signs of weakness, but has definitely thrown a lot of pitches through 2 2/3 already. So we'll see how deep he can go into this ball game. As Neil mentioned, was hooked after just 4 innings of work in his debut.
He's at 43 pitches now, 22 strikes, 21 balls.
Chris chops that one, and it is picked up and thrown on over to first base for out number 3. But Kyle got on his horse and tried to make that play work. Had other ideas. 1-0 Guelph through 2 innings. Royals with the lead through 2 innings as we are back to the top of the order for the Maple Leafs, and Nelson Mercado on the mound and his counterpart, Angel Castro, through 2 innings, well over 40 pitches now, and Mercado has been much more efficient through 2 innings of work, so we'll see what happens here in the third as we are now underway. Mercado misses for ball number 1. Vinicio, 0 for 1.
Lined up to the shortstop.
As that one also misses from Mercado, who has gone through these kind of waves of location, and then struggling with that. So sometimes Nelson can pound the strike zone, and sometimes some struggles, as that one swung on and hit high and deep, and Dalton Pompey underneath it makes the catch just shy of the warning track for out number 1. Not sure if the sun kind of played a factor in that, but Pompey overran it and had to double back, so looked a little bit more difficult than it originally should have been, but nonetheless, out number 1 recorded by the former Blue Jay. As Justin Mara, the catcher, is back to the plate for his second go at it. Mara hitting .303 coming into this game with 5 long shots and 16 stakes to go with it, so no stranger to making contact so far this season, and a pretty well-known player around the league as well. Mercado misses for ball number 2.
Mercado's just seemed to be struggling to get in that groove. He doesn't exactly know where the strike zone is yet, so him and Roberts need to get on the same page here.
Yeah, I know, that's a good point too, is that it's seemingly when they go from Keys to Roberts or vice versa, there seems to be a bit of a lull in kind of communication with whatever pitcher's on the mound, and that one finds the zone. Count now 3-1, and it seems by about this time in the ball game, both the pitcher and catcher have settled in and kind of got their wires uncrossed. But right now, Mercado and Roberts still trying to figure it out, as that one is popped foul for strike number 2. The count now full, 1 gone in the top of the 3rd inning.
Well, this is the part of the Leafs order you got to be really careful with. You got Mara, then you got Castaldo, and then you got Aiden McCaskey, who's got 4 home runs his own as well, too. So
Skies.
Hey, bro, I got you. I'll catch this one. Don't worry.
Connor Morrow trying to get involved, but definitely J.D. Williams' ball, who was able to track that one down and shallow right field and make the catch, and Jordan Castaldo back to the plate. And as you were touching on just a moment ago, this part of the lineup is deadly. So if Nelson's able to get through them with ease, it just makes this night so much more enjoyable for the rest of his teammates, and some run support would never hurt either. Castaldo swings and misses at strike number 1.
I'm pretty sure I saw sawdust coming off the bat of Castaldo there. All right, it was a chunk of dust. I'm not sure which one it was.
It might have been his footing that kicked up some dirt, but I'm definitely on board with that sentiment. There was some dust flying around, and it could have also come off the glove of Noah Roberts, as Nelson Mercado is throwing smoke right now. The 0-2 gone on Castaldo. Mercado looking for a 3-pitch strikeout. A bit of a waste pitch there, high and outside for ball 1.
Mercado was at Connors State's Cowboys junior college this year. Finished up his 2-year program. I believe he's looking for a 4-year school now, so hopefully he keeps throwing the good numbers here and gets another opportunity down in the States.
As Castaldo fights that one off, and yeah, we were speaking about it on his last start, that, you know, as a kind of 2-pitch kind of pitcher, maybe adding another one to his repertoire would absolutely help with that idea of going to a 4-year school. As we are at 1-2 gone, Mercado deals, and that one pulled into the outfield Castaldo is aboard with a 2-out single. Aiden McCaskey on his way back to the plate.
Third baseman number 37, Aiden McCaskey.
Cast time up.
Guelph really, really wanting to get through this one with the lead intact. And when you're one strike away on Castaldo, it looks real good. Now all of a sudden, the script has almost been flipped here for this top of the third. Mercado deals inside on McCaskey, misses for ball 1.
Plate umpire has definitely been hesitant to give anybody the inside part of the plate tonight, which is kind of interesting because especially when he sets up inside too, so he's got the best view of it.
Yeah, big fan of the outside part of the plate, but you're absolutely correct. The inside part of the plate not being favorable, and that one low somewhere for ball 2. The 2-0 here from Mercado. That one gets away from Roberts, and
That'll be a pass ball.
Castaldo will make his way quite leisurely to second base after that passed ball. It's 3-0 the count. Castaldo at second. 2 gone, so Mercado should likely be going at McCaskey now, but misses on the outside part of the plate for a 4-pitch walk, and that will bring up Connor Lewis once again.
Lewis singled his last time up, got stranded at second base.
Center fielder number 4, Connor Lewis.
Yeah, and we touched on it a few moments ago. It just seems that Nelson and Noah are not quite on the same page just yet, which can be frustrating 2/3 of the way through the top of the third inning. A passed ball and some missed strikes, and now all of a sudden, Toronto one good base hit away from tying this game or better, as that one misses yet again for ball 1.
And Mercado's got to be going out there getting a little bit frustrated too with not getting the calls over the plate either here. So Noah Roberts needs to do a better job back there, even just telling him, hey, you're not far off here. Just throw it back down here or leave the glove out here a little longer. Give the umpire a second look.
Lewis swings at that one, and it is just foul. That would have been trouble for the Royals had that stayed fair. But yeah, to your point, it doesn't look like Nelson's missing by much and not maybe getting the favorable calls, but it never hurts to get pitchers to swing, or batters rather, to swing and miss. Count even, 1-1, 2 gone, 2 on, 2 out in the top of the third. Nelson ready to go. Checks. Nothing doing. Dealing. Fouled off again by Lewis. 1-2.
Lewis 7 for 28, no home runs, 2 RBIs. Used to be their everyday center fielder. I'm guessing work commitments so far have kept Connor out of the lineup, but he's definitely got some speed, and he's not bad with the glove either for the Maple Leafs.
And with 2 base runners aboard, he would love to get one into a hole here. The 1-2. Pop foul.
Mercado now at the 45 pitch mark here. Through 2 2/3.
And we, based on those pitch counts, could be in for quite another long night, Neil. Mercado checks, sets, delivers, high. 2-2. The infield playing fairly deep right now, just trying to keep every ball in front of them for out number 3. Deuce is wild here. 2-2 count, 2 out, 2 on. Swings and misses. Connor Lewis down on strikes, and the Royals get out of it. The lead intact halfway through. Back to the top of the order for the Royals in the bottom half of the third inning. Guelph with a 1-0 lead. Dalton Pompey will lead it off, followed by Connor Morrow and Sean Riley. As Angel Castro's pitch count continues to climb here through 2 innings, excuse me, as I check my math.
Quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Top of the 6th inning, London Majors on ahead of the Welland Jackfish in the battle for first place. London wins this game. They will tie Welland in the standings for first.
And with a loss and a Guelph win, that would put Guelph and London tied for second.
That's correct.
Again, if my math is correct, as that one misses for a ball.
The other game in the Intercounty this evening, Barry Baycats up 2-1 in the 5th inning over the Brantford Red Sox.
Those pesky Red Sox, I swear one of these days they're going to take a win away, and they've been hanging around with ball teams of late, and that will only do favors for the opposing teams that aren't playing against the Sox when Barry's going to maybe perhaps have to burn through their bullpen and exhaust some arms as Castro misses. 2-1 the count, and Angel is putting the work in so far here, just with 6 outs under his belt. The 2-1 misses, and Pompey lays off it, and Dalton, no stranger to base on balls so far this season, likely thinking the exact same thing here.
Well, in Castro's defense, he got there Saturday afternoon. He flew from the Dominican Republic into Toronto, got stuck probably in Pearson for gosh knows how long on Saturday. And then he has to show up to Christie Pitts, and it's a hot day and probably one of the worst places if you're going to be hot at all anyways, as far as that goes. Feels like you're playing in a cement bowl at best.
Yeah, and that's no disrespect to Castro, because imagine you or I going through all of that kind of hell and then trying to throw 2 different starts within your first week north of the border and have some success, and meanwhile trying to adjust and settle in here as he is a new resident of Toronto and trying to make his impact here. Connor Morrow back to the plate. Morrow 0 for 1 with the strikeout, so Castro had his number. Morrow's first time out.
Went down looking last time, so had some words with the plate umpire after that call, so we'll have to see if the umpire is holding a grudge here or is all forgiven.
It's always one or the other, and it's always extremely obvious. So the 1-0 now. Morrow swings at it, chops it to third. That could be 2. Pompey out at second. Morrow out at first. Bang, bang. Pompey did not slide and was called out at second. And then Morrow out at first, and now 2 down.
We think that what manager Dino Romell's arguing about is that when Pompey slid in, the second baseman was nowhere near the base.
And Pompey did double back and put his foot back on the bag just for safety's sake, but no further discussion to be had. And now the base is completely empty with 2 gone, and Sean Riley back to the plate.
2 out.
He walked his first time out, and he will look to make contact here as that is high and inside. Riley might have walked his way into a walk, for lack of a better term, in his first at bat. But
I think there was a lot of people scared behind the plate there.
Absolutely. And Sean Riley might have just called that one a ball himself as well as he looked back. And
it's like, you're going to call that a ball, right? Yeah.
A sell job by 33 that works out, and 2-0, and maybe some respect for the king of swing here in the IBL, and why not? Castro now looking to find the strike zone for the first time in this at-bat against Riley, and 3-0, and it's pretty much up to whatever Sean decides to do with this next pitch.
Well, he's got the green light here, and it's just whatever he wants to swing at. If it's in the zone, he's going to take a good hack at it anyways.
I don't think the street light even exists in this count for Riley here, so.
If it is, the lamp's broken.
And another walk. And did not. That one clearly well out of the zone, and clearly ball 4 for Riley. So Sean Riley 0 for 0, but his on-base percentage is perfect so far in this game with Malik Collymore back to the plate. third baseman batting cleanup, did strike out in his first go around, and with Riley on first and Guelph with a 1-0 lead and 2 gone here in the bottom of the third, Collymore will look to build on that lead. Castro delivers high and inside on Collymore for ball 1.
Well, the Royals are definitely not getting ripped off here at the plate anyways. They're definitely making Castro work consistently every bat. No, you don't see a lot of first swings on the first pitch tonight.
And perhaps that is a product of him having some location troubles so far in this game, and that one also misses for ball 2. And a quick chat with Mara on the mound and a couple pats on the back. And as you mentioned, Mara, a very well-respected one of 3 brothers in this league and a veteran, so kind of the guy you really need if you're having some issues in your early going of your career, no matter what your resume says if you're Angel Castro, So maybe just a quick check in and settle down, and we'll see if that does any good here. The 2-0 pitch coming shortly as Collymore is now resettled in the batter's box.
Collymore 21 for 75 so far this year, 280 batting average, 2 home runs, 15 RBIs. He takes that one for a strike.
Tried to sell the ball like Sean Riley did, but didn't quite have the same sales pitch.
No soup for you.
So now it's 2-1 after the Seinfeld quote.
Got to drop it in somehow.
Collymore back up the middle. And that is out number 3 is Sean Riley. Couldn't make it there on his jet in time. And we are through 3 innings. The score 1-0 for the Royals between Guelph and the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Top of the 4th, leading off for Toronto, the left fielder, number 10, Grant Tamani.
Grant Tamani is going to get things underway here in the top of the 4th inning. Guelph leading 1-0. Nelson Mercado back on the mound, misses well low, well outside in the dirt for ball number 1.
Mercado is definitely battling a lot more than Castro is for the strike zone.
Yeah, it has been really a similar duel and not in the best of scenarios here, with both pitchers kind of struggling to find any sort of consistency, but both seeing their pitch count climb quite quickly here. And in a 1-0 game, bending but not breaking. That is now 3-0 as Mercado has yet to find the strike zone here in the 4th inning. And speaking of which, Neil, we'll go back to yesterday where Jeff McLeod came in and faced 8 straight balls, and speaking to him after the game, said, I swung at the 9th one knowing it was a ball just because I wanted to hit something.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I had the bat that worked in my hand.
He mentioned that he had kind of changed his batting stance and moved his hands back in the stance, and I think he actually had his batting average in batting practice down to a science and maybe to the 3rd decimal point. And was just frustrated that he wasn't able to exercise that during the game, but definitely swung at ball number 9 in a row and popped it out. But always a fun time listening to Jeff McLeod tell a story, and that one no different. As the leadoff man for the Maple Leafs is aboard here.
Well, he's a fisherman after all, so he's always got a fishtail somewhere.
He's a fisherman. He'll catch worms. He'll catch snakes. He will just about do it all in his cowboy boots, and unless there's country music on, which he will make you turn off.
Yeah, he's not a fan of the country music.
The 1-0 here with the leadoff man aboard, and Timoni takes off for second when that ball gets past Robertson all the way to the backstop. So Nelson and Noah still struggling to get on the same page here, and we are well into this ball game.
That one going in the books as a wild pitch that gets Tamani to second base here. And with that, the Leafs have got the tying run in scoring position now. With 7-8-9 due up in the Leafs order here.
Yeah, it's been a frustrating kind of 3 innings and change here for the Royals pitcher and catcher, and one would wonder if a change will come sooner or later, as that one finds the inside high corner for strike number 1. Dan Mara didn't like it, but I know Nelson and Noah did. That one misses for ball 3.
Mara last time up grounded off the end of the bat, 2-3 out to the first baseman. For the second out in the second inning.
And Mercado will look to find a way through this one with Mara with 3-1 lead in the pitch count, and that one misses.
I'm not even sure where that was, but looked better up here anyways, as Dino Ramel takes the stroll out to talk to his pitcher.
And due time for that, I think, and maybe a stall tactic because the bullpen should be getting up pretty soon, sooner or later, one would think.
Looks like Danny Marquez is looking for his glove there in the bullpen, in the dugout anyways. As we're going to talk here over the infield to see what the plan is here on the infield, who's covering where here, in case he squares around a bunt here.
And again, with a 1-0 lead, it's not like Nelson's done a subpar job. It's just the fact of the matter is that he is clearly not progressing towards the strike zone with any sort of efficiency or consistency here.
Yep.
So Dino, a quick chat, a tap on the belly, and Mercado will stay in the game.
The designated hitter, number 2, Luca Boscarino.
And Luca Boscarino, the designated hitter, back to the plate now with 2 men on and no outs here in the top of the 4th inning.
Boscarino loaded up the bases with a walk in the second inning. On 5 pitches, really, so. I'm pretty sure that the Leafs bench is telling everybody, hey, go up there and be patient because the kid's having a hard time finding that strike zone right now.
It's absolutely correct. It's just been a lot of long at-bats for both pitchers, and right now Mercado is the one on the mound, so trying to get through it here. Boscarino shows bunt, and that pitch misses for ball number 1. Not a bad idea from the designated hitter to try to advance both of those runners with absolutely no one out here in the top of the 4th.
Mercado at 67 pitches now.
Bunton showing one more time, pulls it back and takes ball 2. And yeah, with Mercado at now 68 pitches, it'd be very tough to imagine him going much deeper in this ball game.
Might get through this inning if he gets a ground ball here, but then after that, manager Dino Ramel probably looking for somebody in the late innings in the 5th inning or even the 6th here just to get through this one.
Especially knowing that you have to get on the road and head to Toronto tomorrow afternoon. You want to get it through this game efficiently, quickly, and with a win. So a 2-0 count coming, and 2 on, and once again Boscarino shows bunt, pulls it back because that pitch was way high for ball number 3. And just a frustrating scenario for the Royal starter here tonight. Fourth straight time Boscarino shows bunt, but this time it is in there for a strike. Boscarino once again shows bunt, that one high for ball number 4. So not often, Neil, do you see the designated hitter
Square around the bunt, no, but in this situation, you understand it too.
square up for a bunt 5 consecutive times. That must be a
Right fielder,
baseball
number
record
15, Greg
regardless of whatever league. And the number 9 hitter coming to the plate, Greg Carrington, with the bases loaded and no one out, and a chance to really change the direction and complexion of this ball game in the top of the 4th. Mercado misses the strike zone yet again.
The young man's just come undone here in this inning, and we just got to somehow manufacture a ground ball for him here.
That one in there for a strike, and Nelson way over 70 pitches at this point, and with no outs recorded in the top of the 4th, it's a lot of work in a short period of time. One low for ball number 2.
I don't know if Roberts bobbled that one or anything, but that looked like it was right down Green Street. Just didn't get the call.
That one clearly off the plate for ball number 3, and nothing Noah could have done that with that to frame it up, but Mercado one more bad pitch away from walking in a run and tying this ball game for the Maple Leafs.
I think he's asking if he's pointing to his finger like he's got a blister on his finger, and that's what he's trying to battle through here.
And that would make complete sense because Nelson is much more efficient and effective on a normal night than he has been thus far in this ball game, and perhaps that might be it for him, as there will be a short discussion, and Dino signals to the bullpen, and I believe, as Neil mentioned, it will be Marquez that will come in relief of the starter Nelson Mercado, who gets through just 9 outs, and has 3 aboard and on the hook for all 3 of those. No outs here in the top of the 4th as we take a quick break. Welcome back to the top of the fourth inning. Bases are juiced for Danny Marquez, who comes in for the Royals on the mound in relief of Nelson Mercado with a 3-1 count, and all hell ready to break loose here if Marquez misses, and does on his first pitch of his evening. So Mercado on the hook for that base runner in all 3 previous and that run. So a run walked in to tie this ball game in the top of the fourth between the Maple Leafs and the Royals.
The shortstop, number 1, Jose Vinicio.
As Jose Vinicio is back to the plate for his fourth go at it. Third at bat of the evening. He is 0 for 2. Swings at that one, and Barless makes the catch. And Vinicio legs it out to prevent the double play. Barless doesn't like the call, and rightfully so. That looked like it was bang bang, and Connor Morrow now getting into it with the first base umpire after having a short conversation at home plate following his first at bat, but maybe some chuckles, and one gone here in the top of the fourth. Bases remain loaded, and another run across the board for the Maple Leafs, who now have their first lead of the evening. That one inside for ball number 1, and Noah Roberts keeps it in front of him. 1-0 count with 1 out here in the fourth inning. Excuse me, everyone was safe on that play. Barless, I thought, made the catch. One not 2-0, bases loaded. Maple Leafs are buzzing right now, and that one is good enough for strike number 2. Or number 1, excuse me. 2-1 the count. Pitch swung on and popped high, but very shallow, and caught by Kyle Kush.
Mara grounds into the, flies out into the infield fly here for the first out of the inning.
First baseman, number 5, Jordan Castaldo.
And Jordan Castaldo back to the plate for the Maple Leafs, and pretty well-seasoned batter with a glorious opportunity to extend Toronto's lead. They have scored 2 runs here in the top of the fourth inning, and with those bases loaded, potential for more. Saws him off, and Morrow over to Barless for out number 2, but not before yet another run comes across the plate for Toronto. Justin Mara, the latest
Third baseman,
runner to score
37,
for the Maple
Aiden
Leafs, and
McCaskey.
extends their lead to 3-1. So runners at second and third with 2 gone. Maple Leafs with a 3-1 lead. Marquez deals. Swung on by McCaskey and missed for strike number 1. McCaskey, the third baseman, has been fantastic this year at the dish, as Neil mentioned a little earlier on, and would love nothing more than to continue that torrid pace he's been on, but fouls that one off for strike number 2, and now Marquez and the Royals a strike away from putting this headache of a top of the fourth to an end.
And a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard. London's opened the bomb sights and well in. It's now 11-5 here.
The 0-2 swung on by McCaskey, and it goes right between Morrow and Barless, who froze. That will score a run and make it 5-1 for Toronto. And all of a sudden, the Maple Leafs are well in control.
Center fielder number 4, Connor Lewis.
Connor Lewis back to the plate. Center fielder has had his struggles so far in this game. Struck out to follow that one up, and 1 for 2, and the man on at first, looking to increase this 5-1 Maple Leafs lead, and this inning has seemingly taken forever and a day, and Lewis would love nothing more than to make it last just a little bit longer.
Lewis, of course, the 9th batter of the inning here, too, so Leafs doing their job. They're being very patient at the plate and manufacturing any way they can get on here.
Very near to batting around, but Lewis swings at that one and fouls it off to even the count at 1-1. And that's the comical part, Neil, is that Grant Timoni, it feels like it was a very, very long time ago that he was last at the plate, but that was still the beginning of this inning here at the top of the 4th. Guelph came into it with a 1-0 lead, and now all of a sudden it's a 5-1 Maple Leafs lead. The 1-1, Lewis swings and fouls it down the first baseline and well into the parking lot, and a souvenir it will be. Now 1-2 and 2 gone. Man at first, Lewis ready to go. That one chopped to third. Collymore kind of had a jam up in his glove and can't make the throw to Barless. Way off the plate. Or off the base rather, as that will go out of play. Lewis off to third, and that actually may have saved a run with the ball going out of play, as McCaskey is held at third.
Colomar just rushed that throw a little too much there. He didn't realize how much time he had and took Barless off the base with him.
It seemed to be caught up in the webbing of Collymore's glove, and I feel like he thought automatic panic mode, chuck it over, and unfortunately way off the mark. So now runners at second and third, with Grant Timoni with back to the plate for the second time this inning. Marquez bounces that one in there for ball number 1. The 1-0 swung on, and Kyle Cush has a glove on it. Over to Barless, out number 3. But again, the Toronto Maple Leafs doing some damage here in the top of the 4th with a 5-run outing to give themselves a 5-1 lead as we are off the bottom half of the 4th. Back at Hastings Stadium for the bottom of the 4th inning after a tumultuous top half that saw Toronto score 5 runs. And Ethan Hammond to the plate for the Royals to look to undo some of that damage that was done just a few moments ago. And Hammond 0 for 1 so far this evening, but has been so productive at the plate so far this evening, or this season rather, that.
Of course, I think the message to the dugout between the half inning here is, hey, don't panic. There are lots of baseball left to play here. We don't have to get them all back in this inning. Just be patient and take your hacks here.
Chip away at it, and Ethan Hammond skies that one to left field, and it is not nearly deep enough, but a well-hit ball unfortunately falls for out number 1. As it is caught out there, and Hammond will retreat back to the dugout. J.D. Williams to follow now.
A great read by Grant Tamani out in left field to track that one down. Covered a lot of real estate in a hurry out there.
Yeah, he definitely got on his horse and chugged along and made that play look easy. I think most people here in their seats thought that was going to be a base hit, but that one taken away, and now Guelph down 1 out already as Williams swings and misses at the first pitch he sees in this at-bat. He did reach by way of walk and later scored in his first plate appearance. The 0-1 here coming in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Misses for ball 1.
Williams with a check swing, and that one goes foul.
So 1 and 2, and Castro, who, as mentioned, had quite the chaotic week, has seemingly settled in here after a bit of a bumpy start in this ball game, as he almost started to make his way towards home plate and then stopped and then pitches, and Williams fights it off to stay alive. That one bounces in the dirt from Castro, and Mora picks it up and chucks it back, but that evens the count at 2 and 2. One gone here for J.D. Williams. Noah Roberts is due up next. Darius Marlis would follow if we get that far here in the bottom of the 4th. That one low and outside for ball number 3, and the count is now full.
If you're Williams, a walk's as good as a hit here, but, you know, the hit might be a little more satisfying. It might get the team going a little better.
The a la Jeff McLeod story from 1 inning ago. Walks are great. Hits are better. The 3-2. Ball number 4. Williams hesitated before he took off for first to ensure that that was indeed off the plate. So he's aboard. A 1-out walk for J.D. Williams. And now with Noah Roberts back to the plate. Roberts, the young catcher, has been quite productive with the bat in his hands so far this season, which probably wasn't necessarily an expectation, but a pleasantly welcome surprise. Roberts the lefty, Castro the righty. Roberts swings and fouls it into the catcher's glove for strike number 1. So the 0-1 to Roberts, fouled right behind home plate and nearly caught the home plate umpire in the face, but somehow dodged him, and everyone is no worse for the wear. Other than the count, which is now 0-2 in favor of Castro, and Roberts will try to stay alive and likely choke up a bit on that bat. Williams takes off for second. That ball low, bounces, and Mara can't hang on to it, so JD, a great jump. But
another great read by Williams there. That guy just has a book on everybody out there.
Interestingly enough, somehow has one on Castro as well, which would be near impossible. But yeah, great jump and
Maybe they
Great
studied the videos from Sunday's game, even though it might be hard. You never know.
Or just its confidence saying I'm going to beat him no matter what. So now the count is 1-2. Williams at second. Roberts looking to stay alive and bring him home. One high for ball 2.
If you're Noah Roberts, you got a job to do here. You got to hit the ball on the right side, get Williams to third here, and let Barless pick you up here.
And the Royals have yet to have any sort of consistent string of hits back to back to back in this ball game, and no time like the present for that to get going. As Roberts gets a hold of that one to center field, it'll fall in there for a base hit. J.D. Williams will score easily as Noah Roberts, a one-out stand-up RBI double to bring some life back into Hastings Stadium after what seemed to be a lull for the last 45 minutes.
The first baseman, number 4, Darius Barless.
Darius Barless to the plate now and will look to emulate exactly what Roberts just did. And with
that
Noah
pitch
at
was not
second
where
base.
Justin Mara wanted. He was motioning to Castro to get this one outside, and that one broke back inside of the plate, and Roberts made him pay with that double.
Roberts did a good job of waiting on a mistake pitch and got one and was rewarded. And now Barless will look to, again, do the same and try to cut this lead even smaller to 5-3 or maybe even 5-4. Barless right back up the middle. And that is out number 2.
Barless did a job, though. He got another runner, another 90 feet away from home, a wild pitch, and this is a 2-run ball game.
And Kyle Cush, who is no stranger to making contact when called upon, now makes his way back to the batter's box. He's 0 for 1 in this game, but very, very likely to be able to make some contact and perhaps drive in a run here and cut the lead to 5-3.
Great job by Dan Merritt, second base, to keep that one in front of him and keep it in the infield.
Cush
Made the
swings
throw.
at the
This
first.
one, one here.
Route number 3, as that is a easy catch for Timoni in left field. So Guelph gets one back, but still trail 5-2. We are back to Hastings Stadium for the top of the 5th inning. It is the 7, 8, 9 hitters due up for the Maple Leafs.
The second baseman, number 6.
And Dan Morrow will get it underway here after Toronto was able to bring 5 home in the top of the 4th. That seemed to last almost a full calendar year. And the Royals got just 1 back in the bottom half of the 4th and now trail by 3, 5-2. The opening pitch from Marquez to start the 5th inning is high. And goes for ball number 1.
If you're Danny Marquez, you pretty much have to go out here and have a shutdown inning for the Royals here. Give the Royals bats a chance to get back in there and see if they can't do some damage off Angel Castro.
Yeah, a shutdown inning would be great, and a shutdown quick inning would be even better, but Marquez falls behind 2-0 now in the early going. 2-0 delivered, swung on by Mara. Pompey has a line on it, makes the catch for out number 1. Bringing the hands of Hastings Stadium together and some smiles to the faces.
The designated
And
hitter,
now
number 2.
Luca Boscarino will bat. He is the number 8 hitter here in the lineup and squared up for a bunt 5 straight times his last time out, which again must be some sort of record, but with no one on and 1 out here, unlikely to see that ever again from Boscarino. That first pitch from Marquez finds the outside low corner for strike number 1.
Boscarino's only seen 3 strikes and 3 at bats now, so
Probably forgets what they look like, and that is another one. So the 4th strike he faces so far this evening, and Marquez quickly ahead 0-2. And suddenly this game has some pace to it. Roberts sets up outside, and that is swung on and missed for strike number 3 and out number 2. Marquez, a great duel there to get the second out of this inning, and
Fielder number 15, Greg Carrington.
now faces Greg Carrington, the number 9 hitter, and hopefully can make quick work of him and run back to the dugout and tell his teammates to give him some run support and tie this game.
Carrington 0 for 1. He grounded out in the second inning 4-3 and walked with the bases loaded, got himself an RBI last time through.
Carrington pulls that one foul down the first baseline for strike number 1 and takes a quick lap out towards the Toronto dugout, but not so far, and checks on his bat to make sure that there's no sort of crack, and will re-square up and step back in, and we are ready to go as Marquez deals. And that one swung on and hit and caught by Malik Collymore at the hot corner for out number 3. 1, 2, 3 goes Marquez on the Maple Leafs for a quick top of the 5th. We are going to take a quick break and come back.
Royals, the center fielder, number 32, Dalton Pompey.
Back to Hastings Stadium. It's the bottom of the 5th, and some life brought back into Hastings Stadium and the crowd that surrounds us, all 1,856 that are in attendance, with Dalton Pompey to lead it off as we're back to the top of the order. A first pitch strike from Angel Castro to get it started, and as the sun begins to set, the lights pop up, and another gorgeous night for baseball. Pompey slices the second one he sees foul for strike number 2, and Pompey quickly behind 0-2 here in the top of the, or bottom of the 5th, excuse me. That one high for ball number 1.
Pompey 0 for 1. He flew out to left fielder in the first inning and walked in the third. Got stranded there at first. Or sorry, he got taken out on the double play in the third inning.
Connor Morrow and Sean Riley to follow Pompey. That one misses to even the count at a pair. And again, Dalton Pompey, no stranger to forcing pitchers into walks. So even behind 0-2 to start this at bat, nothing to sweat about if you're the Royals. Swings and misses for strike number 3. Pompey down on strikes, and Connor Morrow back to the plate. Morrow 0 for 2, struck out and hit into a double play.
2, Connor Morrow.
And we'll look to reach base for the first time this evening now with his third chance at the plate. Bottom of 5. Quarter hour, 12 minutes after the 9 o'clock hour as we sit here, and a quicker pace to this ball game all of a sudden, Neil, after a very, very long 4th inning.
Yeah, the pace has definitely picked up here.
That one finds the zone for strike number 1 to even the count at 1-1 with 1 gone. Infield on the left side at least playing quite fairly, and the third baseman very, very, very much playing close to home plate and hoping to gun Morrow down over at first should that ball be hit low to the third base side. Fouled off, and it is 1-2 now. Morrow fights that one off to keep himself alive. The count remains the same.
Of course, manager Dino Romel will always remind these guys, yeah, it takes a team effort to pound the rocks sometimes here. I think it's Morrow's time and everybody else's time here in this inning just to pound away here and get one back anyways. After Danny Marquez got a quick 3-up, 3-down inning. That one's in there low for a ball. Evens the count at 2-2.
Yeah, and that's the thing. After Marquez did such a good job in the top half of this inning, you really want to see your top of your order, especially kind of reward him with some hits and some runs. Connor fouls that one off, stays alive. The count remains 2-2. Riley due up next. He'll be followed by Collymore if we do get that far here in the bottom of the 5th. The 2-2 once again from Castro to Morrow. Morrow back up the middle for a base hit.
Castro got that one a little too far over the plate again. Mara set up again outside, and it didn't break.
So Morrow aboard with a 1-out single. Sean Riley makes his way back to the plate.
Sean Riley.
Riley 0 for 0 so far this evening with 2 walks. And not necessarily his favorite kind of evening so far at the plate, so you'll know he'll be looking to swing at anything close.
You have the feeling Riley's due for a loud one here, so this could be the at-bat.
It would be loud in every sense of the word and would cut this lead to just one if he's able to put it out of the park. That one misses, though, for ball number 1, and Riley, 3 more of those balls away from his 3rd walk of the evening. Digs back in, squares back up, and Castro gives Mara the nod, and they are ready to deliver once again to Sean Riley here. Pumps one to left field. That will not go out, but that will definitely score. Connor Morrow, who is on his way to home. Sean Riley with another double, add another RBI to the list. And everyone here at Hastings Stadium on their feet.
Got to pitch up again into the zone. Mara is going to have to go talk to Castro. I'm positive of that. They keep missing on these pitches.
That ball was perfectly hit with where it was left hanging, and Riley didn't try to do too much with it, but still hit it to the wall. And scored a run and put himself in scoring position. A 1-out double, and add an RBI to that as well. So Malik Cullymore with a chance to cut this lead in half, and all of a sudden a bunch of life here in downtown Guelph. Going high and inside for ball 1 on Cullymore.
Still no activity in the Leafs bullpen down here, so Castro's on the hook at least for this half inning, unless something changes in a hurry. I see no blue shirts moving behind that fence out there.
Castro gets Cullymore to swing at that one, and that will even the count.
Cullymore struck out in the first inning and reached base in the 3rd on a fielder's choice. They still up for 2.
Well outside and off the plate for ball number 2. Sean Riley, you'd like to say not much of a threat to steal a base, but
he's good for 1 a year, so, you know.
He's already had a few this year, so maybe he's already past that quota and not thinking about it, but could easily take 3rd by the looks of it with no one really playing
Yeah, the
close
3rd baseman is way behind 3rd base here, just trying to keep the ball in the infield. So if Raleigh gets a good read here, he might take off.
And especially with 1 out, no time like right now for him to do so, and probably bring this crowd even more to life after a bit of a lull for this offense of late. And now all of a sudden, Guelph with a real chance to get back into this one. Bottom of 5, 1 out, a 2-2 count. Sean Riley at second. Malik Cullymore at the plate, chops one to the shortstop on over to first base, but Cullymore
Infield single.
is safe, and runners now to the corners.
Speedy strikes again.
Cullymore probably started running before the pitch was even delivered to get there in time. A great effort pays off for the 3rd baseman.
The left fielder, number 28, Ethan Hammond.
Ethan Hammond to follow, and that is the kind of hit from Malik Cullymore that this team needed at this time.
This conversation out there is probably more of a reminder, hey, Cullymore is probably going to go first or second pitch here. We're not going to throw down. We got Riley at 3rd. So just make sure the infield knows what's going on here.
And Cullymore has just exemplified a very good runner. So likely to take off here. Keep your eye on Cullymore, who stands at first for the moment at least.
Looks like he's signaling for a pitch out here, though. We'll have to see.
That one in there for strike number 1.
That was weird. Mara reached out with his glove and then sat back down inside.
So maybe some gamesmanship there from Mara, but that does land in there for a strike. So Hammond trails in the count 0-1 and now swings at strike number 2. Cullymore hasn't really shown any sort of idea of taking second base, but that could change in an instant.
He's got a big lead at first here, so we'll have to be careful.
And no one covering second base, so he can be off at any moment. And there he goes, inside for ball 1. Cullymore
Riley's
in,
still at home.
safe at second, and Sean Riley in to score. The baseball version of the rope-a-dope pays off for the Royals. It's now 5-4, and Malik Collymore in scoring position. The double steal pays off in spades. Kudos to Dino Ramel and Paul Ante on that one, and Guelph is alive as Hammond fights that one off to stay alive. Count remains 1-2. J.D. Williams due up next, and if Hammond can find his way aboard, that would be all good things.
That was a well-orchestrated delayed steal on Rallies' part. He waited till Mara committed to throwing, then broke home.
Must be working on the treadmill because he really took off and got home in a hurry.
I think that's the fastest I've ever seen him run.
I think that's the only time I've seen him run, but we'll keep that between ourselves. And that pitch misses to even the count at 2-2. And Hammond, a very, very quality hitter, especially in counts like these and situations like these as well, with Collymore with a healthy lead at second. That one misses to run it full. First base is open, so no pressure on Castro to throw a strike, but would obviously like to sit down Hammond, and regardless, we'll have to see J.D. Williams in a moment. Castro checks, sets, delivers, low and outside, ball number 4. Ethan Hammond, a great at-bat, and rewarded with a 90-foot free pass, and represents the go-ahead run now.
Out comes manager Damon Topley to have a chat with Mara and Castro and see what they want to do here.
This time out brought to you
And
by
perhaps
Lucky
take some
Belly
wind
Restaurant
out of the
on
sails
Golden
from the
Street
Royals
here
that
in
have all of a
beautiful
sudden fanned their own flame. Just one out here. J.D. Williams awaits his next go at it.
I would not be surprised to see J.D. Williams take a pitch here somewhere in this count, and the Royals trying to execute another double steal.
Two very good base runners aboard for Guelph, so that is a good sentiment and good idea, Neil. And
The right fielder, number 9, J.D. Williams.
if they do go with that idea and are able to execute it, that takes away the double play ball. So lots of reasons to think that may be very much on the mind of Guelph at this point.
And Williams is definitely more than capable to hit something through the right side here, either in the air or on the ground here to score that tying run if they do the double steal.
JD settles into the box and is just about ready to go, and Castro in his stance checks towards home plate, but Williams gets a hold of it, and that'll be a base hit.
Tying run scores easily. Hammond on his horse on the way home.
J.D. Williams, a 1-out, 2 RBI triple, and Guelph has the lead. What a tale of two different ball games between now and about 20 minutes ago, Neil.
The Royals just officially flipped the script.
Number 22, Noah Roberts.
And Williams 90 feet from home to extend the Royals' lead with just 1 out. Noah Roberts, very capable of hitting anything deep. That would score Williams regardless.
Now with the infield in, Roberts just has to punch one through a hole here. Or be patient enough and get something in the air, because Williams should be able to tag easily if he gets it in the air anywhere.
And Roberts has shown his power time and time again this season at the plate, so would not be any sort of surprise if he does so again. Pulls one, and that one a bit of a hot shot, but able
Great
to
stop
be
by Dan
snared
Mara.
by-
Good recovery on that one.
Darius Barless now, with 2 gone, will make his way back to the batter's box. And
Darius Barless.
since he has come in relief of Justin Terrasano yesterday afternoon at first base, has been hotter than a pistol.
1
At
for
the
2 this
plate.
afternoon already, or evening, sorry, with the RBI in the second inning.
That one inside on Barless for ball number 1. The 1-0 from Castro. Barlow swings and makes contact, but flies out to Timoni in left field. But the Guelph Royals find their way back to the lead. 4 runs across home plate here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 6-5. Jose Vinicio will get it underway here in the top of the 6th inning for the Toronto Maple Leafs, who now all of a sudden find themselves trailing after Guelph brought 4 runners home in the home half of the 5th inning.
Stay on this shot. I
to
gotta
give
fix this.
themselves the lead. And Danny Marquez ahead in the count quickly, 0-1. And a whole heap of life brought back into the stadium after that 4-run bottom of the 5th rally from the Royals, which included a double steal, and a part of that was Sean Riley, who took home plate with ease on that double steal, and a few chuckles and a lot of congratulations given to him when he did cross the plate. So another run scored for the IBL's leader in all-time hits, home runs, and RBIs. And quickly climbing the charts for all-time stolen bases, Neil.
Yeah. Not the category we usually see him there. As Vinicio goes down on strikes here, and Marquez, since coming in here, is, taking the bull by the horns, literally, and, told the team to climb on his back. I got you.
And that's a great point. The entire vibe from the Royals' defense and their offense really seemed to shift after Marquez came into the game. Mind you, he came in the fourth, bases loaded, no one out. First pitch he threw was a 3-1. Ended up walking in a run that will be charged to Mercado, and has since then just been electric, and adds to that with just another strike thrown. The 0-1, one gone here. That one bounces in the dirt for a ball. To even the count, Marquez will clean that one off and try to continue his form that he has found since joining this game. The 1-1 delivered, swung on. Morrow can't come up with it. Almost made a spectacular play. Unfortunately, that ball took a few weird hops and got through the second baseman into the outfield.
That was an unlucky Hastings hop for sure.
So,
One
one aboard, one out,
Castaldo.
as Jordan Castaldo comes back to the plate and represents the go-ahead run for Toronto as he cleans up the batter's box in the previous bat that was used. Morrow very, very close to making that play, but as Neil mentioned, just took a weird Hastings hop to get into the outfield and helped the Maple Leafs get a base runner aboard as Marquez misses on that one for a first pitch ball. A double play ball here would be what dreams are made of. Marquez checks, now delivers towards home plate. Morrow yet again just robbed by the Hastings hop as that one gets past him.
Castaldo hit an absolute laser beam down the airway, and Morrow had to get out of that one's way.
Tried to make the Statue of Liberty kind of play, but almost self-preservation. Could not come up with it, so 2 men on, 1 gone. With Aidan McCaskey back to the dish, and if you're Toronto and Damon Topley, the guy you want at the plate right now to erase this deficit. That one misses for a ball.
McCaskey 1 for 1. He's walked twice. He's singled and drove in 2 runs.
And looks dialed in to do so yet again. That one low and ball 2. McCaskey really cocked back there with the bat in his stance, so if Marquez does throw a strike, look for McCaskey to hit it and hit it a long way. That one misses yet again, 3-0 the count, and at this point you don't want to give McCaskey any sort of freebie.
You definitely don't want to do that, no.
That said, Connor Lewis due up next, so it doesn't get any easier for Marquez. That one gets past Roberts. It'll be a wild pitch. And everyone advanced 90 feet, and now Connor Lewis. A bases loaded, 1 out opportunity to really, really take momentum back for Toronto.
Of course, the infield now has to be very aware that Lewis has got decent wheels here, so anything hit to them is going to have to turn in a hurry here.
And with the force at home, maybe that's the consensus, is knowing how quickly Lewis can run. Do you try to turn 2, or do you try to save the run from scoring?
I think you got to play it where it's hit and really just, make a decision when it's hit at you.
One gone here, top of 6, bases juice for Lewis. That one, strike number 1 from Danny Marquez, and Lewis took his lead hand off the bat as if it was coming inside on him, but apparently not the case. So the Royals with a first pitch strike here. Lewis offers to that one and misses, strike number 2.
Final in from Barry. The Baycats rallied in the 9th inning to defeat the Brantford Red Sox 3-2. Brantford got so close. They rallied in the top of the 9th inning to drive that run home, but just couldn't pull it off.
Seems as if at this point Brantford just likes to tease themselves, and unfortunately for them, unable to close one out. Now 0-17 are the Red Sox from Brantford on the year.
The Royals went through a similar situation not so long ago, and fortunately they closed up shop after that just because financially it didn't make a lot of sense to keep going.
So the 0-2 here from Marquez. Lewis pulls one well foul, but got a hold of it, and a split second early was Connor Lewis on that one. And
maybe it's time we change Connor Lewis's eye level here. I think that's what Noah Roberts was looking at here too. He seems to be down in the strike zone here. Maybe we got to go back upstairs here with a pitch. See if Lewis will chase one high out of the zone.
That one chopped to Collymore at third. On to second for one. Morrow over to first to Barless. Not in time. Justin Mara scores to tie this ball game, and don't go anywhere, folks. We might be here till tomorrow. So 2 gone now in a tie ball game. Runners on the corners. And all of a sudden we have a whole heap of hits and some energy from both the Maple Leafs and the Royals in this ballgame after some mundane innings to get this one started. Marquez misses with the first pitch of the at-bat for ball number 1.
Grant Tamani is 0 for 2. He walked and scored a run in the 4th inning. He flew out to the first baseman and grounded out to short his last time up.
Mara takes off for second base. Morrow can't hold on to it to make the play. Excuse me, that was Lewis that took off for second base, pardon me, and is in there with a stolen bag.
Strike on the play, though. Evens the count at 1-1.
So first base now open, and don't forget, we saw Tamani's foot speed in the outfield. The left fielder making a heck of a play that took away a base hit from one of the Royals earlier in this game. So if he does get aboard, a real threat to take a bag and perhaps cause some headaches for Guelph. So as Neil mentioned, the count even at 1-1. Runners at second and third. Marquez deals high. Tamani lays off for ball 2. 6-6 the score.
Activity in the Royals bullpen. I can't make out who it is down there in the dark down there, but somebody's on the hill getting loose there.
That one low and inside for ball 3. And if one had to guess, it would be one of the quote-unquote Enfuego brothers, Brandon Deans and Ben Reed. One of them likes the nickname, the other does not. We will leave that to mystery for now, but we will let you chime in with your thoughts on that nickname. That one inside, but finds the zone.
I guess we can give them a hint. Their first name starts with a letter B. Let them figure that out from there.
Perhaps we'll speak to one of them later on in the season and get their thoughts. And nothing but free comedy on that one. Count now full 3-2. The payoff pitch delivered. Tamoni hits it high Hits it deep, but not enough as J.D. Williams unable to make the catch. He dropped it.
Is it on the transfer?
And no one is more shocked than Guelph's right fielder right now. A routine fly ball that 999 times out of 1,000 is caught by J.D. Williams.
Second baseman.
Falls
number 6,
in
Dan Mara.
for a 2-out, 2-run single from Timoni. And it's now
8-6.
8-6 for the Maple Leafs as we catch up on our scorekeeping. Marquez, a first pitch strike, and not for nothing, this game lacks zero dramatics. The 0-1-2 gone. Outside for ball one.
Somewhere I hear the Bushmen are definitely rallying around their cold brews somewhere in Toronto watching this one.
That one in there for a strike, and a fantastic pitch from Marquez. And ideally, you just do that every time and sit guys down back to back to back, but easier said than done. So 1-2, a man at first, 2 gone here. Marquez looking to end this one, but misses to even the count at 2-2. Maple Leafs have scored 3 in this inning so far and have taken the lead back yet again. Marquez again. That one thrown over to first to Barless for out number 3. It's Kyle Kush. Could have made the force at second, but elected to go over to Barless, and nonetheless, we are halfway through 6 innings. Toronto 8, Guelph 6.
A runner left on. Leading off for the Royals, the shortstop, number 5, Kyle Kush.
Kyle Kush will get things started for the Royals here in the bottom half of the 6th inning, and Merrick Deska into the game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And Neil has a little bit of background information on the Polish national.
Eric Deska, he's just been one of those guys with the Leafs for such a long time. He's been their ace. He's gone in and done relief jobs for them. He's just pitched in wherever he can, of course. Did pitch for the Polish national team a couple times as well, and of course, him and his wife just welcomed a new baby not so long ago. So congratulations to Merrick and his wife.
And good luck going to bed late and waking up early as a new father. And that one misses to even the count at 1-1.
There's no joke. Your sleep schedule is never the same after you have kids.
Deska quick pitch is on Kush for strike number 2. A very, very different windup and delivery from Deska. That fooled Kush, who seemed almost surprised by the delivery. And here we go again. High and outside, ball 2. And after this game had so many extended long innings, Deska looking to change the pace real quick as he comes back to the plate and gets Kush to swing and miss at strike number 3.
The center fielder, number 32, Dalton Pompey.
So Kush down on strikes, and that turns the order over one more time as Dalton Pompey makes his way back to the plate.
Pompey is 0 for 2. He's walked one time, he's struck out, and he's thrown out to the left fielder. And the first.
We'll see what he can do against Deska. Swings at the first pitch he sees, and that'll be strike number 1. It's bounced off Mara, and there will be a quick discussion as it seems that maybe they crossed each other up, but fortunately for the Maple Leafs, worked out in their favor.
For the Royals, you got to be a little more patient out here. Maybe you got to throw Deska off his routine here, off his rhythm. He's desperately wants a quick pitch here. He wants to get you to stay in the box here and get what you're served up here.
And one would think that was the purpose behind bringing in Dalton Pompey to this lineup, was to do exactly that, be able to get inside the head of pitchers, especially as the leadoff man. So if anyone's going to be able to do it, it should be number 32 for the Royals. Swings and fouls that one off for strike number 2. As Guelph looking to, once again, erase a 2-run deficit. It's been back and forth again of late in this game. That one misses high for ball number 1. It's Pompey ready to swing and does. A flare to the right field line will be in there for a base hit. He takes off for 2. Standing up and easily save a 1-out double for Dalton Pompey. Just what the doctor ordered.
Pompey saw it dropping in there and turned on the afterburners.
Hesitated for about 0.0 seconds on that one and was rewarded for it as Connor Morrow makes his way back to the plate with Dalton in scoring position now, and second baseman represents the tying run. And Sean Riley will follow, would be the go-ahead run if all goes well for Guelph here. Sun has finally set here in the Royal City as we are on the 8th or 9th longest day of the year, and a beautiful blue night sky over Hastings Stadium, and Connor Morrow looking to hit one deep into the night. But takes one for strike 1 to even the count at 1-1. Didn't like it yet again, and I think Connor Morrow is going to have a little bit of animosity after this game and would maybe perhaps take a second look at those pitches after this is all said and done. But he hits one high and deep and gone! Deep into the Guelph night tie game!
Another mistake by Deska that Mara set up somewhere else, and that's not where the pitch wound up. Connor Morrow, the recipient of a gift, as the Royals tie this one.
And as many quality hitters as this Royals lineup have, Connor Morrow, definitely not a guy that you want to give a gift to, and he
Definitely
just showed
not.
exactly why you don't make a mistake against the second baseman. And guess what? It gets no easier as Sean Riley comes back to the plate for a chance to give his team the lead. One gone here in what has become quickly one of the most entertaining games of this season. As Riley takes strike number one. One gone. And Sean looking to make something special happen here. Slices that one just a little bit early and maybe just underneath it. Talking to himself out there and shaking his head.
Merrick Deska is no stranger to Sean Riley, both as a teammate and both of the opponents here. And I think Deska still got the advantage on Riley over the time.
It seems that way with the reaction of Riley after that pitch and high and outside for a ball. Definitely some mental games going on, it seems, after Riley, who doesn't usually show that much emotion, walked away shaking his head and was talking to himself. Sean waves at that one in almost anger and looks very, very frustrated as he is down on strikes.
I think he was more surprised that Merritt was able to hold on to that one after he got a little foul tip into the glove.
Malik Cullymore back to the plate, and in a tie ball game, the cleanup hitter right on cue. Cullymore on his toes in this at-bat so far and looks ready and primed to make something happen. That one finds its way back into the strike zone to even the count at 1-1. A great pitch. We'll do it again. Cullymore really wanted to make contact with that one, but missed and
got fooled with that breaking ball, that's for sure. He almost buckled to a knee there.
looked like Brett Hull taking a one-timer back in the day, and Cullymore fights that one off to stay alive and keep the count at for this. And that's so Cullymore is at 1-2, 2 gone here, and looking to do something and fouls it off.
Stays alive here. Cullymore trying to readjust here. Give him the batting gloves the once over. Gives the bat almost like Nomar Garcia Perry used to do it, but he doesn't got the bat knob going too, but we'll see.
Rumor has it Sean Fuller pays him the same amount as Nomar was paid in Boston. And
we can
why
neither
not?
confirm or deny that.
Cullymore slaps one up the middle, and that will get it all the way to the wall. Malik on his horse looking for three.
He's got ran right through the stop sign here.
It is safe at third. My, oh my. What a moment.
This game has seen everything almost tonight.
I think Dino Ramel called him safe at third originally, and that was bang, bang. He definitely blew a stop sign, but trust in yourself and good things will happen, and Malik Cullymore just proved that. So Ethan Heyman with Cullymore 90 feet away from home plate.
Left fielder number 28, Ethan Hammond.
We have a talk here.
And if you have stuck with us through these 6 innings or so, or 5 2/3 rather, you're rewarded at this point in time because there were some dull moments early in this game, and that is no longer true, Neil.
We got some discussions going on here. Did somebody get ejected? It looks like that somebody did get the old heave-ho here.
Not quite sure who, but it definitely looks like you're on the right track with that idea.
Looks like Jordan Castaldo is going to be watching the rest of this one from the parking lot.
Not quite sure what set Castaldo off, but You're absolutely correct, as he is out of here. And what a huge turn of events for the Royals on top of what just happened. No Castaldo left in this game for the Maple Leafs is for Guelph. Some frustrated Maple Leafs and at times some frustrated Royals throughout this game, but some very entertained fans for sure, as Malik Collymore again is now safely standing 90 feet away from giving Guelph their lead yet again. We are tied 8-8 here in the bottom of the sixth with 2 gone, and
let's get there to figure out who's going to play first base now. Most likely manager Danum Topley or somebody else. Not sure who. We'll let them figure that one out. We'll come back after the break. You're back now, Kevin.
We are back at Hastings Stadium, so a few things have happened in the last few moments, and Damon Topley now taking over at first base for the Maple Leafs as Jordan Castaldo is no longer welcome here. He made his exit very dramatically and walked across the field and yelled at Dino Rebel on his way out as Ethan Hammond swings the first pitch he sees, and that will be the go-ahead run from Malik Collymore that scores.
Give Dan Mara the error on that ball that just kind of died on the edge of the grass there. And the Royals take the lead here at 9-8.
That is a tough one for Mares. An error is a 50-50 play on that one. I think that it bounced a couple times, and yes, there's some foolery, but nonetheless, Guelph with a 9-8 lead now. Hammond at first with a 2-out RBI single, with a 2-out hit. To score Collymore and Williams to the plate and takes ball number 1. Looking to keep this inning alive, and more runs scored in the last few innings than I can count to as Hammond takes off and gets into second with no throw. As Mara behind home plate was unable to make the transfer to challenge Hammond for that base. So 2-0
Maple Leafs have definitely come undone the last 3 batters here. It's up to Marek Deska to calm the troops now.
That one does find the corner of the outside part of the plate and the strike zone for strike number 1. And I think the Jordan Castaldo reaction kind of says it all. A lot of frustration from the Maple Leafs of late, and Williams pokes one to shallow center, and that'll get through, and Ethan Hammond well on his way to home. Makes it 10-9, and JD on his way to third. And in there for a triple. And Guelph is alive.
J.D. Williams with his 3rd triple of the ball game.
Not too often you get to hear that. 3 triples from J.D. Williams.
The catcher,
And
number
a
22,
huge reason why Guelph is
Roberts.
now leading 10-8. Noah Roberts with JD 90 feet away will hopefully be able to find a hole in the outfield and give Guelph a 3-run lead. They now lead 10-8.
If you're on the bench right now, you got to stay. You got to remind the guys, hey, this game's not over. You got to keep the hammer down here.
Exactly, Neil. We've seen the lead been turned over countless times throughout this ball game, and a 2-run lead clearly not safe this evening. Roberts pumps one high and doesn't have the juice to get out of the park. Caught for out number 3, but not before some serious entertainment here. The Royals score 4 and give themselves yet another lead. It's 10-8 through 6. Hello again and welcome back to Hastings Stadium. Top of 7 here in Guelph as the Royals now with a 10-8 lead, but only for the moment, Neil, as this lead has changed hands more times than I can count. And Luca Boscarino will lead it off for Toronto, looking to do it one more time. Marquez misses somewhere with that one for ball number 1.
If you never believed in the Toronto-Guelph rivalry, you sure definitely got a double dose of that tonight.
That one definitely misses for ball number 2, and a bit of frustration from the Royals fans on the first pitch, but the second one definitely in the dirt, and that one gets past Roberts, but no one aboard, so just a ball number 3. And Boscarino has yet to really put any sort of yeoman's work in here in this at-bat, and will likely leave that one on his shoulder for this next pitch based on what he's seen so far. And rightfully so, as he takes ball number 4 and is on his way to first base for a leadoff walk. Now, to follow him in a moment as the Royals will have a bit of a conference call on the mound. Marquez has been in this game since the 4th inning, which a lifetime ago.
Got a new pitcher coming out of the bullpen. Can't see who it is in the dark down there, but we'll take a pause and get the pitcher in.
Ben Reed into the game for the Royals, one half of the Infuego brothers, as Greg Carrington, the number 9 hitter, to the plate. One man on, no one gone here, and a 2-run deficit to try to erase, which would come as no surprise based on what we've seen of late in this ball game. That one misses from Reed, who came in for the 9th inning on Canada Day about 36 hours ago, Neil, and pitched a gem of 3-out baseball. And
very effective in his outing. 2 strikeouts, and I got a ground ball out to get the ball game over with.
A ground ball 2 strikeout that, believe me, he noticed that would have been 3 straight strikeouts had he been able to sit him down. But nonetheless, a fantastic showing from the Guelph native, and one of 3 triplets, as triplets are, and the only boy. And word has it, he is the 3rd favorite triplet.
I think he's trying to rise his stock here.
Let's see what Benny can do with a 2-0 count now and 1 man aboard. And misses with ball 3, and no favors given to Guelph's most recent pitcher on that throw.
Reed has to throw a strike in this situation. I hope he hits it here somewhere on the ground here.
Yeah, that could very, very much change the... Oh, no. That one misses very clearly, and a 4-pitch walk from Reed, but no sweat right now, no one gone. And we're back to the top of the order for the Maple Leafs. As Jose Vinicio comes back to the plate. But do not forget, folks, that Jordan Castaldo no longer on the premises. So the Maple Leafs lineup maybe slightly less intimidating, but Damon Topley, no slouch as his replacement, will follow eventually, as he will now bat 3rd. So it'll be Justin Mara next, and if we get any further, Damon Topley will bat after that. Reed gets a strike call.
corners are in here. Up the middle's playing deep enough for the double play here as they're just trying to keep the ball in the infield here.
Reed checks, sets, delivers. And that one chopped over the head of Barless. That'll score a run. Williams hauls it in and will throw it back. And Minicio will be held at first. So runners on the corners. Mara to the plate. And a one-run game now.
The catcher, number 9, Justin Mara.
Justin Mara to the plate yet again. Just for the 5th time tonight. He is 1 for 4. Did score a run in his most previous at bat. And would love to do something similar here with no one gone, runners on the corners. The go-ahead run at first. Reed misses low for ball 1, and at this point in time, a young pitcher that has had some success here, just knows what he can do and can easily relocate the strike zone and takes his time and resets, and likely what he's planning on right now is to throw a strike. And does. 1-1 the count for Ben Reed. One of the most well-liked teammates a guy can have, and has a relationship with every single one of the guys on the Royals roster. Regardless of age or position, Ben Reed is a close friend of all of them, as that base is easily stolen by Jose Vinicio to take the double play ball out of contention for the time being. So runners at second and third, 2-1 the count, no one gone, a 10-9 ball game that has spanned 2 hours and 43 minutes already, as Reed misses yet again for ball 3, and he gets some encouragement from the crowd, who, again, much like the rest of his roster, are in his corner. The 3-1 from Reed. Swung on and hit hard and deep to right. That one off the wall. It will score 2, and the Maple Leafs yet again regain the lead. And Damon Topley, the second best hitter of all time in this ballgame, now to the plate with a real chance to extend the lead. However, no lead in this game is safe.
Pretty sure Damon Topley had no intention of even swinging the bat tonight. He was just planning on managing this one from the bench.
And Reed gets a first pitch strike here, and it's kind of a gut check time for Ben Reed, and maybe something that will pay off in the long run if he's able to stop the bleeding here. Topley chops one to Collymore to third, over to second. Morrow makes the play on to Barless. Bang, bang! 6-4-3 double play. 5-4-3 double play, excuse me. And now Guelph is 1 out away from having their next chance to evaporate this lead, but Aiden McCaskey, no easy out ever, is at the plate.
The Royals and Leafs usually have one of these games a year, and I guess they picked Saturday night for this one.
McCaskey pops one high and very shallow. Morrow underneath it, calls everyone off and makes the catch for out number 3. Toronto 11, Guelph 10, halfway through. Bottom of the 7th inning of perhaps the most eventful baseball game my eyes have ever witnessed. Darius Bartless to lead it off. The lead has changed hands now a record 65 times. That is a complete
This feels like a George Foreman Frazier fight somewhere here. Rumble in the Jungle, take 5. Both teams jockeying for position and not willing to back down on any stretch of the imagination here.
Bartless lays off ball number 1 and swings at the next pitch he sees and might have a chance here. Bartless on his toes, but a great play by Mara over to first to record out number 1. Damon Topley covering that bag since Jordan Castaldo once again ejected. Not quite sure what set him off, but very curious to know. Kyle Cush due up next. Dalton Pompey will follow as the order will be turned over for the Royals following Cush.
Castaldo going. I'm thinking it was just early.
I believe that umpire was Dale Ramel, and as he made his exit, he did walk past and was pointing towards his direction. So, not quite sure what the idea or what the words or what the thoughts were, but again, would love to know. And unfortunately for Castaldo and the Maple Leafs, that is a huge loss here. But
well, with the 3-man crew, the plate umpire is supposed to make his way up the line. As Cush squares that one off the buttocks here and takes his way down to first. Especially when the base umpire was where he is now. He's over by second base. There's no way he can make that call on that play. The plate umpire needs to be up the line looking at the play going to third. And he was in position. And I think that's what set Castaldo off. And justifiably so.
I would completely agree, Neil. I mean, I don't understand why. That being said, we did mention that Malik Collymore blew the stop sign at second.
No question, too, but it's just...
And good luck catching up to Malik in a foot race. So, all things considered, you can't fully blame the umpire, but justifiably, Castaldo probably frustrated with the fact that it cost him and his team. Either way, we progress here as Dalton Pompey takes ball 1 to even the count at 1-1. Kyle Kirsch, who took one off the buttocks to gain a base, is standing safely, looking to find a way home and tie this game up. That one inside again, and one thing that we haven't mentioned was after Cush was hit by that pitch, the home plate umpire took a long walk towards the mound and clearly had some sort of instruction towards the pitcher to say, hey, enough. But, Damon Topley, that's using your face.
Yeah, and that one rolled out of play here, so Cush is going to third and Pompey should be going to second base.
Pompey immediately apologetic, but no fault of his own. And checking on Topley, who you don't want to see that ever. Seems pretty well off after taking it off his face. Doesn't seem to be in too much discomfort, but
yeah, that's definitely a base hit. Topley, not a soccer player. Didn't try to head that one in there, Summer.
And Dalton checking on his well-being still, and if that was me, I'd be on the floor and retired by now. But Damon Topley, a much tougher man than myself, and Dalton will take second, and Cush is off to third. So 1 out, man.
That'll go in the books as a double. Unfortunately, it deflected off the base runner. You can't fault Topley on that, so you give him a base.
Not whatsoever.
You give him a ground rule double. It's a rolled out of play.
At the end of the day, just happy that it was not as bad as it potentially could have been for Topley, and he is somehow, some way, no worse for wear, and thankfully so. And now Connor Morrow back to the plate with 2 runners in scoring position. He's already gone deep once this game after having some questionable strikes called against him. Has a short conversation with a home plate umpire, and it's not so short after all as he calls time, and doesn't seem to be anything but comical between.
Infield in here, just trying to keep the ball in the infield. Morrow's got other choices here and other plans. This one takes outside for a ball.
And Connor, very, very capable of flaring one to shallow, and that would score easily both runs. That one somehow finds the strike zone in Narnia.
We got to hand it to the Royals fans. They definitely got the one-liners down pat night.
I thought you were laughing at my Narnia joke, but Connor Morrow fouls that one high, and Topley makes his way towards the boarding truck, makes the catch.
But he ran out of play with the ball. He's got to award everybody a base. Topley makes the catch, but he ran out of play with the ball. He's got to award people the base.
So a hell of an effort from the first baseman who just took one off the face. Ends up costing the Maple Leafs a run. Unfortunately, so
should be a two base. He should be awarded two bases technically because he should be coming home. Yep, he's coming home. Two-base error.
And Dino Ramel out there to make sure that you were correct, Neil, and absolutely bang on point.
What are they doing here?
Takes the lead, 12.
Well, what are they doing here? They're saying because he didn't run on that one, he's going to only get one?
I'm curious to know, though, because the ball was caught and then taken out of play.
If you're
Does
Topley,
that not give Pompey just third? I would think that he should be stuck at third.
I think they're going to rule he wasn't in motion at the time. That's why he only got the one base. But usually there's two away now, though. And we're tied at 11 apiece.
So, yet again, surprise, surprise, this game just full of action and chaos and dramatics, but makes for a...
I think the only thing Topley could have done in that situation is catch the ball and throw it back in.
But catch the ball and make sure that you make it clear that it's been caught before you...
Yeah. PA is still down there arguing with the first base umpire. And Riley's not sure what to do here. They gave Riley a free pass.
Sean Riley running.
Yeah.
Sean Riley on the intentional walk. Now up for Guelph. The third baseman, number 35, Malik Collymore.
So, the lesser of two evils, I guess, Mr. Sriwasa. You give Riley the free pass, but now you have runners on the corners. There are two out, but you have to face Malik Collymore.
You pretty much want to force a second base here. You hope Riley's not going to take off for another stolen base attempt here.
Did you forget that he stole home earlier in this game?
Did you forget who's standing at third base? Somebody is more than capable of stealing home.
As very much exemplified back in the 2015 ALDS, as Collymore maybe a little over anxious at the plate. Now down 0-2 and needs to tighten up here and make something happen and not strike himself out. Mara set up outside here. Collymore lays off, but it is a cold strike three. And the Maple Leafs get out of it. And this game, for one time, remains tied. And we are 11-11 through 7 innings. And probably a lot more baseball to go. Stay with us. We'll be back at the top of the Hello, folks that have stuck with us and are still awake. Into the top of the 8th inning we go. Connor Lewis will lead it off in an 11-11 baseball game. And if I had enough fingers and toes, I would tell you that is a 22 combined runs scored by both of these teams. And speaking between innings with Neil Sriwasa, who is by my side, a very knowledgeable baseball man, is near certain that Pompey should have been ruled home, and Guelph should have this lead.
We'll definitely look this one up when we go home tonight, because now I'm not going to sleep over it, so that's beside the point.
I'm certain it's got to be ruled something, subsection 99.
Yep.
But, yeah, it is a rarity to see that happen, and it's a good question to be answered.
And it's a rarity because, most ballparks have fences on the lines. They have an actually defined out-of-play line here, where here it's just out of play down the outside of the warning track.
And not for nothing, a heck of a play by Topley after taking
no
one
question.
off the dome.
Like you can't fault him. Unfortunately, he's going to get charged an error on because of how the ball took him out of there. But
bad karma maybe, but a heck of a play that ended up actually costing his team. And now the next.
No, because there's an error on the play.
Asked and answered. Out number 1.
And I guarantee Alan Ross has probably chimed in on YouTube already here, and I haven't looked yet. Guarantee he's all over the rule book.
Fielder number 10,
Grant Tamani back to the plate. And speaking of foot speed, after we saw David Topley track that ball down, Tamani's done that earlier in this game and took a hit away. So looking to get aboard and give his team the lead back one more time. Again, tied at 11s. And this game looks like it might pass the midnight hour as Ben Reed misses for ball number 1. 10:30 on the nose, so 3 exact hours since the first pitch. And Benny high for ball 2.
If you read, you just kind of got to let your defense do the job here. Get it over the strike zone and hope that, the Leafs don't get a hold of a big one here.
And a tough bounce-back effort after yesterday afternoon's gem that he threw. And that's 3-0 and having some real struggles finding the zone now.
We'll have to ask him after the game when was the last time he went on back-to-back games anyways. It's been a while.
And without giving too much away, do you want to drop the Enfuego brothers nickname, Ben?
No. I'm pretty sure the other one would probably be, I don't know, displeased.
Perhaps. However, you're not sure which one likes it and which one doesn't.
This
as
is
Ben
true.
Reed finds the zone at 3-1. I will give this away. One was overly excited and adamant that it was a thing, and the other was very, very not on board.
So it's like that Friends episode where everything became a thing.
Or like in Horrible Bosses. Yeah, it's a thing. No, it's not.
Okay, I guess it's not. Okay.
Yes, it is. No, it's not. It's going to catch on. No, it won't.
No, it's not.
Anyways, Ben Reed walks the leadoff man, and
Or actually the second man up.
second man, excuse me, as there is one gone here as we get caught up in conversation. And after 3 hours and 2 minutes of baseball, forgivingly so.
It's been a long day in the sun for a lot of people today.
Especially at the Hanover Raceway, where I got to take in 10 straight horse races for the first time in my life.
Did you at least bet on any of them, or were you not allowed to?
I did ask that question on air, and I was confirmed I was allowed to, and I did win.
Oh, nice. There you go.
Which is hilarious because I was quite surprised by my luck.
Did you manage to
one
pull down a
again.
parlay, or was it just a single straight up?
It was the second race, and I hit the exactor.
Nice.
And I turned a $5 bet into a cool $200. And before I left, I turned that $200 into a whole $90. So invest with me, and you will lose.
Yes. Remind me to keep my wallet away from you.
That would be very well advised, as Reed behind in the count 2-0, a man at first, and a tie ball game. Ben needs to find the zone here and now, and does. The bright lights of Hastings Stadium illuminate the field as the sun has long since set. And this game one of many between the Royals and the Maple Leafs this week and this season, and this rivalry only getting more and more heated this evening. That one high. Roberts tried to frame it, but unsuccessful at doing so. So the count now 3-1.
Mara, of course, is 0 for 3. He walked and scored a run, but he's grounded out 2-3. He's lined out to center field and grounded out to the shortstop here. So that one takes the ball now here, and he's walked twice now.
Ben Reed with some real struggles, and you can see it on his face right about now, that just wondering, what am I doing wrong? With Luca Boscarino, the designated hitter, back to the plate. Again, I will reference this as long as I can this evening. He did square up for about 5 consecutive pitches in his first at bat. So with 2 men on and 1 out, don't be surprised if he does that again. However, Reed way off the zone on that one, so ball 1 and not much of a movement from Boscarino. The 1-0.
Boscarino's walked 3 times, then struck out. That's it. Scored 2 runs.
That one not close enough, apparently. And that is ball number 2. Much to the displeasure of just about everyone in a Royals jersey.
And to the credit of the fans, a lot of them have stuck around here, even this witching hour here.
That one finds the zone for strike number 1. And yes, Neil, a good point on your behalf is that Tuesday night's game was, for a 4-1 final, fairly long. It drag its way along, but again, an afternoon game. And tonight, a Saturday night here at Hastings Stadium, has taken its time. But Ben Reed now even in the count, 2-2. And again, a fan favorite, gets the Hastings Stadium crowd on their feet and is a strike away from sitting down Luca. And gets him swinging. What a response from Ben Reed. Down 2-0 in the count, throws 3 straight perfect strikes to get his man, and is now an out away from getting through the top of the 8th inning. Greg Carrington, the number 9 hitter, back to the plate yet again, which seems like his 1 millionth time in the box this evening.
Carrington 0 for 2. He's grounded out to the second baseman and lined out to the third baseman. Walked twice, scored 2 runs, and got a bases loaded walk on top of that for an RBI.
Exactly why it feels like it's been a million times over again tonight, and that one high and outside for ball number 1 from Reed on Carrington.
Ben Reed's going to need a bottle of Advil and something stronger when he gets to the dugout tonight, that's for sure.
Maybe a good hug from his Fuego brother. That joke will not die anytime soon.
We're getting on Fuego shirts, aren't we?
With their faces on it, as that one is chopped to Cush at short, on to Morrow at second for out number 3. Benny gets himself out of his jam.
Hardy handshakes as he comes off the bench here, or off the field here.
And it just goes to show how much his teammates like him. He's struggled so far this evening, but everyone's still in his corner, and this game's still tied. We are halfway through 8 innings. We'll be back as the Royals get set to try to break the tie.
tie. The left fielder, number 28, Ethan Hammond.
Ethan Hammond looking to break a tie here again, and who else would you want at the plate if you're Dino Ramel and the Royals to get it going in the bottom half of the 8th inning? And an 11-11 game that has been nothing shy of memorable so far on a Saturday night. The 3rd game the Royals have played at home this week.
This is reminding me more and more of Rocky 4. This is
And
Drago's
5 altogether.
Well, let's not talk about 5. 5 was kind of
Can I tell you a secret?
Sure.
Never watched a Rocky movie.
Well, that's on your hit list now, sir.
Just don't tell anyone, okay?
I'm not saying a word. Well, I guess everybody else will have to.
Where somehow a strike for the count now to go 0-2. As Sam Green is into the game and not quite sure what that hit off of, but it hit something.
Bounced in front of the. I think it bounced off the green and then it just tried to chip it home.
I don't think my brain can process what just happened, but it was a ball.
It was definitely a ball. I think that one was kind of.
I would hope so. Green resets and delivers the 1-2. In there for strike number 3. And Ethan Hammond, very frustratingly so, walks back to the dugout after a few borderline calls. End up with him going down on strikes.
J.D. Williams.
Williams with a pair of triples, 2 walks, 3 RBIs tonight.
So a quiet night for JD.
Yeah, you know. So how was
Getting
your
his
night,
steps in.
JD? You know, ran the bases a lot, got dirty.
Scored some runs.
Yep. Probably got kangaroo recorded for running through a stop sign, but that's okay.
That was Collymore. JD takes ball 1. Swings at the second offering from Green and fouls it off for a strike.
Just another dent in the roof of Hastings Stadium here. One of these days I'll have to go up there and look at take a picture of that glorified facade there one of these days.
Go sign a couple of the dents and claim them as your own. Williams at 1-1 in the count with Green, who is ready to go again. Pitch in and inside for ball number 2. And now 10:42, so we are at 3 hours and 12 minutes, and we are through 7.5 innings in a third, excuse me, and that one fouled off yet again to even the count at 2-2. And my curfew from my mother has now been broken officially, so sorry, Mom, I'll be late, as this game looks like it is nowhere near being over, and could very much so go into extra innings with the way it's been played so far. The count 2-2.
And
Williams strike, swings at it, double checked on it, but somehow, some way had enough time to make his way to first base safely. So JD gets away with one and represents the go-ahead run with Noah Roberts back to the plate. And
The catcher, number 22.
with Noah, one would think right here and now is when he's due.
Williams struck out and reached base on a wild pitch. Now Noah Roberts has a chance here to probably would take a pitch here, let JD get in scoring position, and then try to hit something somewhere.
Absolutely, and just add that strikeout single to JD's interesting evening at the plate. And Noah Roberts can make it a lot more interesting with a good swing here. Inside and low for ball number 1.
11 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors for the Maple Leafs. 11 runs, 11 hits, and 2 errors for the Royals. So
Carbon copy nearly for
Yep.
both teams, as Roberts gets a hot shot taken away by Damon Topley just next to the first base line. However, J.D. Williams with that foot speed Gets to second, so another out, so 2 gone. Williams in scoring position.
Number 4, Darius Barless.
And Darius Barless coming back to the plate yet again. For the first time he's faced green this evening, and
He's 1 for 4.
1 for 4, and
Singled and drove home the first run in the second inning here. He cashed in Williams earlier.
And Barless after that great showing at the plate yesterday afternoon would love nothing more than to drive in the go-ahead run, and waves that one high and outside of the zone for strike number 1.
You got to remind Barless here just to stay within yourself here. That one looked like he was trying to swing for the fences when a single will do just as well here.
And I think that's what kind of led to his success of late at the plate was that patience. Took a couple balls a few weeks ago and got a board by way of walk, and then yesterday was just poking balls to open areas and getting singles and driving in runs, and consistently was able to do so. And don't overswing. Fights that one off and stays alive, does Darius. And the last thing you want to do right now is go down on strikes if you're Barless, with JD 180 feet away from home and giving yourself as the lead in what has been nothing short of a dramatic game that has spanned 3 hours and 16 minutes already. Barless holds off, checks his swing, and
Plate umpire didn't even ask for help on that call. He owned that one himself.
so that is ball number 1, and a favorable call for the Royals, and perhaps and likely their correct call, but yes, no check as per usual. Barless gets out of the way of that one, and maybe then and there is when you just have to take one for the team, but self-preservation sometimes takes over too, as the fastball came high and inside and quickly.
Definitely a 91, 92 mile an hour pitch, maybe even a little bit higher. We'll have to check with.
A 0% chance if I was standing in Darius' shoes, I would take that on my back.
No, exactly. That one's fouled away here. Barless is doing what he does best this year.
He's
Eat a lot of pitches.
Getting back to exactly what you alluded to just a few moments ago. Patience and not trying to overdo it. And this is about when he'll find a way to find a hole and drive in Williams. High for ball 3, or 4 rather, and Barless is a ball.
No, he's
that
not.
was ball
Barless,
3, correct?
that was ball 3. He's like sitting there
We
going,
had some crossed wires up here.
I thought we messed up here on the count here, but no, we were right. Barless was not.
The amount of times that I just assume that my count is wrong
Yep.
led me to make another mistake. So Barless, full count. Williams at second will be off with the crack of the bat. Or perhaps sooner based on that lead. Darius flares
Barless
one to shallow center, and that's in there for a base hit. And J.D. Williams gives Guelph the lead again.
The legend of Darius Barless writes another chapter.
Continues to grow.
This is one of those games you'll probably look back later in the season and go, man, I wish we were on the other end of those ones.
The shortstop, number 5, Kyle Cook.
Darius Barless getting encouraged by the fans and his teammates, and Kyle Cush to follow. Will look to do exactly what his predecessor just was able to accomplish.
Apparently we were holding up the Guelph Games light show in center field because the drone laser light show was supposed to start a couple hours ago, but they got to wait till our lights are off here.
Well, while they wait, they can come on. A fantastic ball game. And we have still an